welcome race fans to the APC Series on G-Force TV. My name's Greg Delman. With me is Adam Ross. Tonight it's round number 3 for the APC Series. And Adam, coming into tonight, when you mesh together the race here last year and how that ended, and our last race this year at Flamborough, I think we're into an interesting race here tonight.
It might be for the best. These teams have had a few weeks off since that Flamborough Speedway race. It was physical. It was aggressive. There was a ton of bent race cars and hurt feelings after that one, Greg. I was at the drivers' meeting earlier on. It was inspirational, motivational, a reminder to the drivers. You are one of the premier racing series in the country. Let's all represent ourselves that way. You've got it in you to do great things here tonight. And I think that will have sunk into the drivers. These teams have put a ton of work into this equipment since the last race. So tonight's Dayco 100 should be a lot of fun.
There's one rabbit so far in this season that everyone's chasing. It's Brandon Watson. He won round 1 up at Delaware and then round 2 at Flamborough. And he, I think, hurt some feelings at Flamborough as well. So that's going to add to the drama tonight as well.
We've got lots of drama tonight. Trayton Lapsevich flying in from the Grand Prix of Trois-Rivières. He qualified in the top 10 down there, flying in. He's probably going to miss qualifying tonight, but he should be here in time for the race. Sean Chenoweth missed practice. He just pulled in late. So lots of last-minute drama and a couple of very fast race cars with drivers who are not following the full series.
Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting tonight here at Sunset Speedway. Joining us, as always, will be Clinton Jeffrey down trackside. He's got a report for us right now.
Well, today, guys, I'm up here on the banking in Turn 1 at Sunset. Super wide, super steep, and lots of room to run it up the banking if something happens here in Turn 1 and 2, which inevitably it will here tonight. The other option you've got if stuff happens, instead of going way up the bank, you can pull down here through the infield grass. Lots of runoff areas, lots of rooms to stay out of trouble. But I bet a lot of these teams are still going to find themselves in trouble here tonight. Sunset is a very tricky track that narrows up when you get back to the straightaways. We're going to see some amazing action here tonight.
Tonight, 25 cars, as you mentioned, Sean Chenoweth, are here to compete for the Dayco 100, ready to get ready for qualifying here at Sunset Speedway.
It's time to go racing. When we come back from this break, we'll have the Dayco 100 and everything that goes with it from Sunset Speedway on G-Force TV.
What makes a trailer a Miska? Is it the heavy-duty Canadian steel they are made from? Or is it the exceptional finish that will last year after year? How about knowing that these are the best backed trailers in the industry? But these are the reasons you buy Miska. So what makes these trailers a Miska? It's the hard-working Canadians who craft them. We are Miska. We are Canadian tough.
A guy like this, who relies on his truck for work, knows that his truck will take care of him if he takes care of his truck. And WeatherTech has always been the ultimate protection. From floor liners to no-drill mud flaps to tech liner for your truck bed to bump step to the handy under-seat storage system. And Cup Foam keeps phones secure in any cup holder. Order your ultimate protection today at WeatherTech.ca.
Welcome back live to Sunset Speedway on G-Force TV for round number 3 of the APC Series here this afternoon. 25 cars in total ready to do group qualifying. Groups of 5 here this afternoon. And last week, a couple of weeks ago when we were at Flamborough Speedway, normally you go to the track and you'll see those groups kind of stay where they are in the pack, but at Flamborough, things really jostled around, Adam, and we saw some drivers that were middle of the pack during practice really jump up the charts, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that here this afternoon as well.
No, you're absolutely right, Greg. Good memory there. It is so rare to see. You know, it's almost gotten to the point where qualifying isn't as much fun as it used to be. The drama isn't there, but Flamborough Speedway reminded us that anything can happen, and a driver could come out of any of these groups. And what makes me really think that is Dale Shaw, the driver of the 83, being in this group, and Sean Chenoweth in the 89C with 0 laps of practice.
Yeah, Sean here arriving late in that London Recreational Racing number 89C and first APC race of the season. But has had some solid runs at Flamborough Speedway this year. He's tackled the tour so far with the Oscar Modifieds, and He's good no matter what car he is wheeling. There's another good driver right there, Dale Shaw, who was involved in that big crash at Flamborough Speedway that involved he and J.R. Fitzpatrick. And that's interesting to see both drivers back here tonight ready to do battle. And there was a lot of discussion over the last few weeks about that crash. And to me, it was just the safety equipment and how well it protected JR that he could get out and be as frustrated as he wanted to be there, because that was a hard lick. One of the hardest ones I've ever seen at Flamborough Speedway.
And to go back to that, we're one lap to go back to green in this qualifying session. A car will not slow down when its tires are off the ground. Right, so it was a direct shot into the wall. Sean Gibbs about to wave the green flag on this session. We are back underway. Dale Shaw, Colton Everingham, Sean Chenoweth, Dustin Jackson, and Dwayne Baker.
And Dwayne Baker here. He'll be scored as the 48B tonight. 48B for Dwayne Baker, as Colton Everingham will be in the plain 48 with NTN bearings aboard. So Colton making his APC Series debut here this evening. First laps of record going on the board. Dale Shaw quickest over Sean Chenoweth, Dwayne Baker, Dustin Jackson, and Colton Everingham.
So these were cars that were not entirely quick earlier on in practice, or, in the case of Sean Chenoweth, were not here in attendance at all.
You should see the bully Dwayne Baker rolling it through 3 and 4. Going across the stripe. Dale Shaw remains the quickest, 14.406. 14.406, the quickest lap so far in this group. Sean Chenoweth right there in position number 2, 14.556. And then it's Dwayne Baker, third. Well, Dale Shaw picks up there on that last lap. Right at the checkered flag, in fact, picks up almost a tenth of a second.
Yeah, 14.361, 0.2 of a second faster than Sean Chenoweth, who was only a few hundredths of a second quicker than Dwayne Baker in the 48B. Just Dustin Jackson, a tenth of a second off of that. And then Colton Everingham in the 48, NTN getting behind the efforts of Colton Everingham. Great looking race car.
So the second group will now roll off pit lane. All cars staged down here in the infield on the pit lane. That's a cool thing about the APC Series. Such a different variety of tracks on the tour. You go from Delaware Speedway, the big half mile. They've got the full pit lane layout. Flamborough Speedway pits are all on the back stretch, so when the drivers pull off, they go over the hill off of corner number 2 and get their service there tonight. We're back to a track where we'll see some action right in front of us right here on the front stretch.
It's just more fun when you get to see it in front of you, especially once the race comes out. All the teams will be on pit road. It just looks better, Greg.
Tyler DiVincenzo's out there along with Andrew Gressel in the 81, Danny Benedict in the 54, Brandon McFerrin back again in the 64 machine, and Josh Stoddy in the 17.
There's some heavy hitters out in this group, a lot of heavy hitters, drivers that we would normally expect to see up in the top 10. Is Brandon McFerrin putting some smoke out the back of that 64 machine. They'll monitor him for the next couple laps. Sean Gibbs having a good look at that race car as it goes by.
No surprise, Andrew Gressel up to the second spot behind Dale Shaw from the first group, 14.4543.
Danny Benedict, only good enough for 8th quickest at the moment. The white flag flies. Let's see what these drivers have. Josh Stoddy up into the top 3.
Yeah, just laid down a good lap there in the 17 machine. Final time across the stripe for a number of these drivers as the white flag checkered comes out. Josh Stoddy will be the first across the line. He'll slot into the 3rd quickest so far. Tyler DiVincenzo stays in that 5th position.
Wow, 1/1000th of a second slower than Sean Chenoweth is Tyler DiVincenzo in the 5th spot. So Dale Shaw still out ahead by a good margin too.
Yeah.
About 1500ths of a second as Brandon McFerrin comes to rest on the inside of turn number 2.
And that car was ailing throughout that qualifying run.
That abrupt a stop would make me wonder if he just chewed up a rear end gear, transmission.
think the left front's jammed up inside the fender well there.
Well, that's unusual.
Talking about a broken tie rod on the 64 of Brandon McFerrin over the race director radio.
So if that's what... I'm trying to envision how that creates the smoke out the back of a 64, unless the front end was really disagreeing, because he wasn't... I mean, actually, let me look at the timing and scoring.
He didn't make my chart. Is he on yours?
No.
Here we go. We're going to have a replay here on this last. I believe this is the checkered flag. Yep.
And you can see the car wiggle down into the turn.
And it just... That's it.
That's a comedy of errors, right?
Yeah.
With no electronic scoring, putting smoke out. You rarely see smoke off a car because the front end is so far out of alignment that it's dragging that left front tire around the racetrack.
So that will put us under a brief delay before the third group hits the racetrack. As you mentioned, Adam, Dale Shaw still quickest. He was in that first group, 14.361 seconds for Dale Shaw. Andrew Gressel right now sits in the second spot, 14.543. Josh Stoddy slots in third in the 17, the 89C of Sean Chenoweth, who just arrived here right before qualifying. Unloads, shows up, and so far fourth quick ahead of Tyler DiVincenzo in the fifth spot. Dwayne Baker right now slots in sixth. Seventh, Dustin Jackson. Eighth, Danny Benedict. And ninth, Colton Everingham. And again, that's after two groups so far here of 5 for the APC Series. I want to welcome the live audience in here to the G-Force TV broadcast. I'm Greg Kelman. Along with me here in the tower, Adam Ross. And Clinton Jeffrey will be joining us trackside as well. And I want to welcome Brendan Doherty in tonight as well. Does a fantastic job with his announcing here at Sunset Speedway. So I want to include him in the broadcast tonight. He did a great job earlier on with the qualifying heats, and we'll hear him with the mini stocks and super stocks throughout the evening tonight as well. So we'll bring you all the action, and if you're here in the stands, we invite you. If you got a really good streaming data package on your phone, by all means, watch the entire broadcast. But if not, and there's an incident on the racetrack throughout the night and you want to see a replay, go to GeForceTV.net, or just plain and simple, go to YouTube, look up GeForce TV, and the live broadcast is there absolutely free from any device. If you're at home and you want to watch one of our future events, you can just, if you got a smart TV, go to YouTube and go to GeForce TV and watch all the action here tonight. And Adam, we're going to show you a lot of different angles here from Sunset Speedway.
Which is good. We need a lot of different angles, Greg. We spend so much time together. We run out of things to talk about. So when our great camera people give us lots to look at, lots to chat about, that's what we do. A special welcome to the good folks here from Dayco here tonight. I know they've got a lot of guests. NTN Bearings with a bunch of guests here tonight. And a big welcome to the fans. You picked a great day to come to the race. It's a beautiful day here in Innisfil, Ontario. It's a bit of a drive. Lots of people wanted to be out on the roads today and cruising southern Ontario.
It was a busy, busy traffic day today, and I come from Brantford, so I had to get down the mountain in Hamilton, and that was a task in itself just to get to the 407, to get to the 400. And as you can imagine, it costs a lot to ride the 407, but that was pretty clear sailing. That was the relaxing part of the drive.
See, Greg, you have many, many kids, and I have only one that comes to the races, but he's old enough to drive me here now, so it didn't matter. Like, feet up.
Sit back and enjoy.
Absolutely. So coming into tonight, this is race number 3. We are soon to have a clear track to get going again. No surprise, Brandon Watson leading the points based on 2 wins. But would you be surprised to know he is the only driver with a top 5 finish in both of the first 2 races?
I did not know that. Wow.
Like, you know what I mean? The cream rises. There were years when you knew, okay, it's either going to be Andrew Gressel or it's going to be Brandon Watson at the front. Like the top runners, Joe Lawrence could do no wrong last year. Nobody has managed 2 top 5 finishes with the exception of Brandon Watson. Top 10's a different story. There's 5 different drivers with 2 top 10s. But that's how tough the racing is in this series. That's how difficult it was to finish at Flamborough Speedway, the last race out. It's also what makes this series and these drivers the best in the business. It's very hard to imagine racetracks any more different than Delaware Speedway to Flamborough Speedway to Sunset.
You look back to Flamborough as well as the next group of cars headed onto the racetrack. That was a race where if you had problems early, it almost played into your benefit, because later in the race, those were the drivers like Pete Shepard and Andrew Gressel that worked their way back up to the front.
Nobody was unscathed in that race from start to finish. There was just a little too much silliness in that race. You want to see a little bit of rubbing and bumping and hard feelings, but that was a lot.
Jordan Sims out there in the number 47 machine sat on the pole at Flamborough Speedway. In round number 2, Nick Getz making his first start of 2021 in that number 24 machine. Tom Gibbons in the 10. Pete Shepard right there in the 22, the APC machine, and the 3 of Shea Gemmel, the next group of 5, group 3 of 5.
Shea Gemmel was out here a couple of weeks ago racing with the NASCAR Pinty Series, scored a top 5 finish in one of his races, I believe a top 10 in the other one, had a really good showing in one of the Ed Hackinson racing cars. Now he's out here in his own race car where he always performs well. That North Country Property Maintenance number 3.
One of those drivers always works his way towards the front, even if he has issues, finds himself near the front at the end of the race. And kind of surprised to see him where he is right now in this group, as Pete Shepard bumps his way up the second fastest time so far, 14.453, still behind Dale Shaw.
We can't say that yet. We can't say people are bumping their way up through positions yet. I'm sure we're going to see it later on.
And they have fixed the issue on the scoring monitor, I believe now. It's got Pete Shepard the third on there. I know on our transponder system it picks up as P3, so hopefully we've got that corrected here tonight. Trying to get the systems to coordinate.
They're fickle things. Jordan Sims up to third. Nick Getz with a good lap. He's in that 4th spot. Nobody able to go as fast just yet as Dale Shaw, as Pete Shepard the third tries to make it happen. Couldn't best his time. Shea Gemmel back in the 10th spot. I think that'll be a little disappointing for Gemmel behind the wheel of that number 3.
How about it? Dale Shaw still atop the board, 14.361, and he laid that down on his last lap as well during that first section.
One reason for that could be there's some racers who are very frugal. They don't like putting fresh rubber on for practice. They practice on older rubber. That hurts you in this series because if you don't lay down a fast lap, you don't go out with the fast car. So Dale Shaw, that might have been his first couple laps on fresh tires, so getting a feel for things in his first few laps of time trials, then laid down a great one.
Group number 4 onto the racing surface. Joe Lawrence, the champion from 1 year ago, the Pennzoil number 78. Connor James in the SSG gloves number 4. James Horner out there in the 79 machine, that black car. And the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick, along with the 9 of Brandon Watson, the guy everyone's chasing so far here in 2021.
How about James Horner? That's a solid practice lap for the driver of the 79.
Yeah, to be in this group, we got some real heavy hitters here. What a couple of weeks it's been for J.R. Fitzpatrick since we left Flamborough. Not necessarily APC-wise, but big crash the next week at Delaware, then tried to get to Flamborough the next night, and motor went.
Yeah, it's been a tough go, and Brandon Watson getting right down on the rumble strips in the corners there. Fitzpatrick up into the top 5.
Up to the 3rd spot now for J.R. Fitzpatrick. Final time around, the white flag displayed for this 4th group of 5.
Now, Brandon Watson is not showing up in my top 10. Is he in yours?
No, he's 11th right now.
Okay. Joe Lawrence up to the top 5. Checkers in the air. Connor James doesn't crack the top 10, but J.R. Fitzpatrick does.
Stays in 11th, surprisingly, for Brandon Watson. So J.R. Fitzpatrick from that group slots into the 3rd spot. Joe Lawrence 4th.
So the best Brandon Watson could have started was going to be 10th as the points leader in the inversion that they run. But right now being 11th and some very fast cars to come out. So the people that did lock themselves in to the inversion in the top 10 is anybody in the top 5 right now. So Dale Shaw, Pete Shepard, J.R. Fitzpatrick, Joe Lawrence, and Jordan Sims will all be guaranteed a part of that inversion. Nick Getz, that might be a big deal because as someone without points, he might wind up being your pole sitter.
Final group onto the racetrack. Lane Zardo behind the wheel of the Trayton Lapsevich, number 32. Trayton's on his way here, flying in from Quebec where the NASCAR Pinty Series is racing.
I can't imagine we'll see Zardo come up to speed very much at all in that 32. No, he took the green flag. Don't want to use up any of that rubber because you know Trayton's going to have to start at the back in the 32 machine when he does arrive.
Also there, Travis Halliburton in the 39. The 52 of Jake Sheridan, the 29 of Ryan Kimball, and the 8 of Jordan House.
Drivers watching nervously right now to see if they're going to remain in the top 10 in that inversion. Dale Shaw on the top of the charts in the 83. Pete Shepard in the 22 is second. Jake Sheridan jumps into the top 3, third quick with that lap in the 52.
Sheridan stays in the third spot that time around, behind Shepard and Shaw.
Jake Sheridan just turned 2 laps, 1/1000th of a second apart in time.
Jordan House up there in the 11th spot. Good lap for him.
House is another one. If he can get in the top 10, that's a good starting spot for Jordan House.
Ryan Kimball, House up to 7th. How about that for the 8 machine?
Checkered flag in the air. Zardo checking up in that 32 machine. Travis Halliburton as well. We will give you the top 10 rundown. And then we'll be able to determine who will be your top 10 starters. Well, this will be your top 10 starters. We just have to wait for the official order, Greg.
Dale Shaw quickest, 14.361, followed by Pete Shepard the third. Third spot, the 52 of Jake Sheridan. Fourth quick was J.R. Fitzpatrick in the 84. Joe Lawrence, fifth quick in the 78. Jordan Sims slots in sixth. Seventh, Jordan House. Excellent lap there in his final time by of 14.497. Ryan Kimball also in that group. Eighth quick, Nick Getz and Andrew Gressel. Right now the top 10 after qualifying for round number 3 of the APC Series here at Sunset Speedway, getting ready for the Dayco 100.
What a great day to go racing. Beautiful weather, beautiful conditions. This race we're scheduled to do driver introductions at 8:10 tonight for the APC Series. Of course, lots of racing still to come. We got mini stocks, super stocks. And it looks like the super stock's about to come out onto the racetrack. There's some lined up out there. Brendan Doherty is in the wings.
Shall we bring him in?
Absolutely. Brendan, the last time that we spoke, we were doing some commentary from the Oscar day of racing here at Sunset Speedway, the first round. And through the miracle of the internet, we got to have conversations with like a 3/4 of a second delay, and it's just enough to absolutely challenge the flow.
It was a very different process, and especially too, like I was working off a tablet, so I only had about like a 3-inch screen to really view the racing, and then try to figure out when one of us was going to talk. So it was it's nice to be able to do it in person this time instead of over the internet sitting at home. So it's a great day out here. Weather is perfect. We finally broke that humid spell we had this week, so it's not feeling like you're sitting on the sun outside today.
You know what? I want to respectfully disagree. I feel as though I am sitting in the sun. We've had this joke going along. It's like being in a terrarium when you're in the announcer's booth, and being a voluptuous fella myself, it's always humid.
Yeah, I prefer the outside. That's where I normally am on Saturday nights here. Obviously, technology, we need to be inside, but yeah, it does get warm in here. You'll find out very shortly why they do call it sunset. The sun's going to set right over turn 2, and you're going to be very thankful once it gets low enough to get behind those trees. The drivers will be too, as it's very bothersome getting into turn number 1 with the sun in your eyes and trying to figure out where you are on the racetrack.
You know, I've never asked where the name of this racetrack came from. Did that have something to do with it?
I can only assume it's much before my time.
Yeah.
I'll have to go down and bug Steve Slaughter Sr. later. He might have the answer for me if I can dig through the memory banks. Former owner here, and
just go with it though.
Yeah,
it sounded good.
It works perfect for me, but.
So up next, why don't we take a quick break, Greg? Well, let's take a quick break on GeForce TV, and when we come back, there's more racing to come from a phenomenal night here at Sunset Speedway.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave sausages and street dogs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
What makes a trailer a Miska? Is it the heavy-duty Canadian steel they are made from? Or is it the exceptional finish that will last year after year? How about knowing that these are the best back trailers in the industry? These are the reasons you buy Miska. So what makes these trailers a Miska? It's the hard-working Canadians who craft them. We are Miska. We are Canadian tough.
Welcome back live to Sunset Speedway here on GeForce TV for the APC Series as they get ready for round number 3 later on tonight. But up first, Super Stock's ready to go for their second round of qualifying. Brendan, they've got one round in the books already. And take us away here with round number 2.
We've got heat number 3 lined up behind the NTM Bearings Pace truck. Starting on pole, the 83 machine out of Barrie, Ontario, former Sunset Speedway feature winner here in the Super Stock division. The North Country Property Maintenance, Freddy's Damn Good Fries, 83 is Johnny Morrison. Looks like spot number 2 be the 49. Your reigning and defending Sunset Speedway Super Stock Track champion. The Talk Performance, Bullseye Axling, Hanley Construction, GreenSteelRoof.ca, Auto Trim Design of Barrie, 49 machine of Fly and Frank Davey. He's also your 2019 Autumn Colors Classic champion out of Peterborough Speedway. 21B machine, a former Velocity 250 champion here at Sunset Speedway in the Super Stock division. The Bennett Mechanical, Thringco, Streamline Race Products. 21B is Showtime, Matt Bentley. The 8 machine tonight out of Port Elgin, Ontario. The Mowbray's Canadian Tire, Port Elgin, Virtue Farms, K&K Lawn Care, Saugeen Shores, Transmission, Rod Gibbons Construction. Keep Right, number 8 machine, picked up the win in the first round of qualifying. It's the New Age Punisher, Jason Parker. 29 machine in North Bay, Ontario, the Humberview Parts. Paul Swin Trucking, ImageRaps.ca, 29 machine. Seat instructors also aboard the ride of Paul Pepper, the 71 machine, normally piloted by Corey McAllister. Tonight it is the upgrade, Rick Bolt, your reigning and defending Sunset Speedway Limited Late Model Track champion, the Caldecott Millwright, Strayak Energy Company, Clean Butterball, Chunk Dogs, number 71 machine. The 6th machine is Bailey Jacobs, the Kawartha Heavy Duty Repair, Lakefield Napa Auto Parts, number 60 machine. The Peterborough Speedway Regular, making his first career start at Sunset Speedway here tonight. And the 5 machine, the Benson Tire Juniors Tire 5 machine out of North Bay, Ontario, is Steve Lazzari aboard the 5 machine. Lazzari, I believe, making his first start of the season here at Sunset Speedway. A new motor under the hood after some issues earlier on in the year. Gets set to fire, 8 laps to be the distance on the Fast Eddie Raceway scoreboard. Lights are extinguished on the NTM Bearings Pace truck. Will hit pit road this time by Morrison, the inside, Davey, the outside. Getting set to fire. The first round of qualifying was fantastic. We'll see what they got here in round number 2. Coming to the restart zone off at turn number 4. Jeff Slaughter, the starter, with the green flag in the air. We are racing heat number 3 underway with St. Audrey Racing Super Stock down in turn number 1. David with a slight advantage getting into 1. Morrison fires back on the bottom, down the back straightaway. David with the momentum, a little bit of contact midway down the back straightaway between your front 2. Morrison with a great run down on the bottom. The North Country Property Minutes 83 machine trying to take the lead away from the Hamley Construction 49 machine, and Davey able to lead him back to the stripe that time by the Shepherd Family Trucking 49 machine. Here comes the 21B is Showtime Matt Bentley, the Bennett Mechanical machine, trying to make it 3 wide. Morrison slides back in line, a little bit of contact with Frank Davey, and around goes the 49. The GreenSteelRoof.ca 49 machine facing the wrong way after contact from the 83 of Morrison. 3 cars going for the lead, and it's going to be Showtime Matt Bentley, the Bennett Mechanical 21B machine, going to come away with the lead. Paul Pepper able to get wound up, as well as the upgrade Rick Wall. Able to avoid contact with Davey as he spun down the racetrack. Davey able to get refired. He'll tag on now, tailing on the longest line tonight. pretty sure the 83 Morrison, the North Country Property Maintenance Freddy's Damn Good Fries 83 machine, he will be sent scratch as well. So he'll go to the back as an involved car. Get the field to roll on through here before we double them back up.
These have been hotly contested Superstock heats tonight.
I mean, they must know the cameras are on or something, because they were heat 2. They were shoving each other for the lead, and Morrison wasn't going to go quietly there, and was trying to keep his nose in there and keep the position from Davey. But unfortunately, both drivers going to go to the rear now. So to get them all lined up where they need to be, before we double them back up and get ready to go back racing. So 1 lap complete, 7 laps remain on the Fast Eddie Raceware scoreboard. So Bentley, who's taken the last few years away from racing, the former Velocity 250 champion here at Sunset, has made his return this year, and he's been spending his time here at Sunset regularly each and every night the Superstocks are on the card, as well as remember the Quick Superstock Series. Had his troubles at Peterborough Speedway, ended up having a lot of damage to that 21B machine, but the team went to work this week, and they will get the Thringco Streamline Race Products 21B machine all repaired up. And now we'll have to deal with the New Age Punisher, Jason Parker, up on the outside, the Mowbray's Canadian Tire Port Elgin K&K Lawn Care number 8 machine, alongside Bentley for the restart. White flag in the air from Jeff Slaughter, lights are extinguished on the NTM Bearings Pace truck. It'll hit pit road, this time down the back straightaway. So 7 laps remain in qualifying heat race number 3 for the St. Ange Recreation Superstocks. They'll enter the restart zone over in turn number 4. Those are the 2 lines up on the outside retaining wall, and then they come down the racetrack. So the leader's got to be the first to fire once they get into the restart box. They're nice and even. Bentley picks up the pace just a little before the box, but we're going to let that go. They're nice and even off of 4. And down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Bentley trying to hang tough down the bottom side of the racetrack. Parker with the Virtue Farms 8 machine up on the high side. Going to try to slide in line behind the 21B of Matt Bentley. And just ahead the 71 of the upgrade Rick Walt. Walt on the move. Got the call from Corey McAllister this week to fill in for McAllister. He's away at a wedding. So no better than your reigning Sunset Speedway late model champion, the former Barrie Speedway Thundercar track champion, getting back to his roots here behind the wheel of 71 machine. And caution is out. Looks like we got the 5 machine of Steve Lazzari facing the wrong way down the back straightaway. Lazzari has had some issues this afternoon through practice. He even got into the inside retaining wall off at turn number 4. Was able to get away with very little damage on the 5 machine, so he'll get refired and spin the car around and tag on tail end of the longest line now. Lazzari able to get spun around there. So Parker was unable to make the outside work on the restart, was very quick to fall in line behind the 21B of Bentley. We'll see if he's able to do the same thing this time, or if Rick Walt's got anything from row number 2 in the Strayuk Energy Caldecott Millwright number 71 ride. Walt seemed to struggle through the first round of heat race action and was trying to get comfortable behind the wheel of 71 machine. Not an easy task. Walt, a very tall gentleman. I was over there this afternoon when he kind of hopped in the car really for the first time to make sure everything was good, and he's a little cramped in there, but it's not as bad as some of the other rides he's had over the years. So we'll see what Walt can do. Looks a little more comfortable here in the second round of qualifying. Lights are extinguished on the NTN Bearings Pace truck. Hit pit road this time down the back straightaway, and we'll fire him off once again. 3 laps complete, 5 laps remain. Qualifying heat race number 3 from St. Ange Recreation Superstock Division. Parker on the loud pedal first, trying to lead him off down the front straightaway, trying to get clear of Bentley as quick as he can. See if he can make the run up on the high side of the racetrack and down the back straightaway. A better restart for Parker this time. Here comes the Virtue Farms K&K Lawn Care. Keep right. Mowbray's Canadian Tire Port Elgin 8 machine of Parker up on the high side of the racetrack. Able to clear Bentley down the front straightaway. He'll slide to the bottom side of the racetrack. Logs him up just a little bit and slides up the racetrack. Bentley unable to take advantage down low though. Bentley now back to second. The Bennett Mechanical 21B machine knocking on the back door. The 8 of Parker trying to get back to the bottom side of the racetrack. Doesn't quite have the run. Down into 1. Parker left the lane open just a little. Bentley unable to take advantage that time through 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Wall now up to 3rd. Paul Pepper runs in 4th. Frank Davey rounds up the top 5. 2 laps to go at the line. Popsicle 6 in the air for the 8 of Jason Parker. Looking for the clean sweep with heat race action here tonight as they set the field for the Superstock feature race later on tonight. Here comes Bentley, though, a great run off at 2 down the back straightaway. The Bennett Mechanical 21B machine with the bite off the corner. See if he can do it this time off of 4. At the line, it'll be Parker just by a nose for the white flag. Final time into 1 down the back straightaway. Bentley down on the bottom, starting to inch ahead. Parker going to try to slide in behind him and try to maybe make the crossover. Unable to do so that time. Bentley going to pick up the win. Parker for second. Third will go to Paul Pepper. 71 of Walt in fourth, and Davey will round out the top 5. So good qualifying heat race there. Able to get, once they got going, a little bit hard times getting everyone sorted out where they needed to be, and once they did, they were good to go. A great show at the front of the field between Jason Parker and Matt Bentley, but Matt Bentley going to come out on the winning end. Parker going to go back and try to get the car turned around for feature race action and see if he can find just that little bit more that he needs for the feature race later on this evening. But pulling down to victory lane, driving the Bennett Mechanical Thringco Streamline Race Products 21B machine. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Showtime, Matt Bentley. Dave Frank's down there getting the victory lane photo. Going to slap the heat race sticker on the side of it. And Bentley going to go back to the pit area. I talked to Bentley this afternoon. The team went to work. They liked the setup they had at Peterborough Speedway last weekend before they got wrecked, but he said they found a lot more bite off the corner they've been looking for this year. So we'll see what the Bennett Mechanical 21B machine can do in feature race action later on tonight. Final qualifying heat race now for the St. Ange Recreation Superstocks on track, starting on pole, former Sunset Speedway late model track champion out of Stainer, Ontario. The GD Coast Used Car Superstar, Nisco National Leasing, Clearview Heating, Four Valleys Excavating, Redline Signs and Pro 48 machine. It's the bully Dwayne Baker, 30 machine, a 3-time Sunset Speedway late model track champion, a former Sunset Speedway Thundercar track champion. Tonight subbing for Todd Davenport from the Elmer's Lighting Supplies, InkYourRide.com number 30 machine. It's hard body Gord Shepard, the 52 machine out of Innisfil, Ontario, the TJ Memory Simcoe Barge Brickwall Canadian Car Care Ride. It's the People's Champ, Brandon Pastor, 17 machine. For Way Freight, First Choice Roofing, Speedy Auto Machine, Lion X of Newmarket, Simon & Sons Doors and Windows, the 17 is third generation racer Garrett Tamirza, 47 machine out of Stroud, Ontario, an active member of the Canadian Motorsports Hall of Fame, and a 30-time champion across the province of Ontario. The Red Line Science Apparel, B&B Towing 47 is Stomp at Tom Walters, 36 machine, multi-time feature winner at Sunset this year, the Besters Forest Products. Leslie Ford Motors, Badger Hydrovacuum 36 machine, it's the Thrill Billy Lane Zardo, driving the Bad Fast Ford Mustang, and the 93 machine out of Mount Hope, Ontario, the Queenston Chevrolet Transaxle Truck Parts. Pure Energy Performance 93 machine, your most recent winner out of Peterborough Speedway with the Quick Week Super Stock Series. This is Carson Nagy. So we got 7 cars lined up for 8 laps on the Fast Eddie Race Square scoreboard. White flag in the air. We'll go green next time off at turn number 4. So this is a good front row, one you've seen many times through the 2000s up at Barrie Speedway in the late model division. Baker on the inside, Shepard on the outside. Now behind the wheel of Superstocks here tonight, looking for the green flag off at turn number 4. Heat number 4 underway with the St. Ange Recreation Superstocks. Baker with the advantage down the bottom side through 1 and 2. Shepard going to fire back up on the high side. The Elmer's Fighting Supply, number 30 machine. Trying to take the top spot away from the 48 of Baker. The 52 of Brandon Passer runs behind him, looking to see which lane's going to go first. They both push up the racetrack. Looks like it'll be 3 wide off at 2 and down the back straightaway. Here comes Brandon Passer, the TJ Memory Simcoe Barge Breakwall 52 machine. He gets that car sideways, trying to stay off the 48 of Baker. Still 3 wide down the front straightaway. Passer not quite enough. He'll fall in line back behind the 48 machine. Shepard still up on the high side, trying to inch ahead, trying to take the top spot away. He'll do so down into turn number 3. Baker now under pressure from the 52 of Passer. He's able to get clear Passer off of 4 and go back to work to the inside of InkYourRide.com Elmer's Lighting Supply 30 machine of Gord Shepard. Passer under pressure now from Tamirza and Zardo, the 17 and 36 machine, all over the rear bumper cover of the 52 for the 3rd spot. Out front though, cross flags the line, 4 laps in, 4 laps to go for Gord Shepard. It's been, I believe, since about 2004. I was talking to Gord this afternoon since he was last behind the wheel of a Thundercar Superstock. So he'd like to go back to victory lane here. Subbing for Todd Davenport tonight. Out in front now with the 48 behind. Gordon Shepard trying to pull away. TheInkYourRide.com, Elmer's Lighting Supply. 30 Machine, the 48 of Baker now under pressure from the 52 of Pastor. The GD Coats Used Car Superstore 48 Machine holds on to the second spot. Sardo now knocking on the back door of the 52 of Pastor. Pastor with a run off of 4 and down the front straight with the TJ Memories. 52 Machine gets a run to the inside of Baker. Baker tries to take the lane away through 1 and 2. Pastor again with the launch off of 2. Does not quite have enough to stick nose in there. Down into turn number 3. They'll come to the white flag this time by Gord Shepard with a healthy lead. Pastor now side by side with the 48 of Baker. Very clear he's there this time. Down into turn number 1. The TJ Memory. Simcoe barge brake wall. 52 Machine with a slight advantage on the bottom. Down the back straightaway. Final time off of 4. Checkered flag in the air. Gord Shepard with the win. Pastor going to come home second. Baker third. Zardo fourth. And Walters will round out the top 5.
I can tell you this much, based on the heated cool-down lap of round 1 between Tom Walters and Garrett Diemersma, that would have been the hardest fought last place battle either of those two have ever experienced.
There's one thing I've learned over the years in getting to know Tom Walters. He does not forget. He will hold on to that, and he will make sure he gets his receipt at some point. He's going to make it tough for you now the rest of the night when you want to try to go by him. Even if it's for last place on the racetrack, it's going to be very hard to do.
And it was clean. I sort of watched them a little bit, but they were both driving as hard as they possibly could. Just the statement.
Down to victory lane, the next level automotive. Elmer's Lighting Supply, InkYourRide.com. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Your Heat 4 winner, Gord the Smoke Shepard. So Gord, who we've seen with our Pro Late models here, our Seaton Structures Pro Late models, bi-weekly here at Sunset Speedway. Filling in for Todd Davenport here tonight to keep him in the Sunset Speedway points this year. Davenport away with, I believe, his son's baseball tournament, so a very good reason to step away from the racetrack. And Gord Shepard rebuilt this car for Davenport a few seasons ago, so first time behind the wheel of the Superstock in a long time for Gord Shepard, and he goes to victory lane. We'll see him again in feature race action later on tonight. Qualifying heat race number 3 now on track for the GD Coats Used Car Superstore Mini Stock Division. Starting a pole, the 07 machine is Dylan Bowman. The CSN Collision Center, CarQuest Auto Parts of Barrie. Ford Mustang. 67 machine picked up the heat win in the first round of qualifying. The FX Stone and Paving, Innisfil Creek Golf Course, Ryan's Landscaping, Sydney Computer Services, Northway Tire Limited, Big Brian and Sons Towing, and Auto Trim Design of Barrie aboard the Ford Mustang of Josh Bullen. 45 machine is Caladan Team with the ARM Technologies Origin 6068 Coffee Ride. 83 machine is former Sunset Speedway Mini Stock Track Champion Cast Iron Cameron McGlashan. The ORV Auto Daryl Ecott Custom Die-Cast Kawartha Metals Aurelia Metal Fabrication Ford Mustang. 28 machines Connor Maltese out of Innisfil, Ontario. The Press Appliance and Repair Maple City Tire Fox's Bakery and Deli Gordy's Garage Auto Trim Design of Barrie Ford Mustang. 6 machines from Mike the Mattress Guy. Best Buy Mobile Big Rock Landscaping. The Actor Integra is Curtis Stewart. 18 machine is Cole Quinton Spire Fire Protection Ford Mustang. 9 machine is Madison 10 Camp. The Midhurst Roofing Barrie Frame and Alignment Ford Mustang. And the 12 machine is Eric Rainey for Our Family Farms out of Cookstown. NTM Bearing Space Truck hits pit road. Qualifying heat race number 3 set to fire off at turn number 4 for the GD Coats Used Car Superstore Mini Stock Division. Green flag in the air. Bowman with the jump on the high side of the racetrack. Dylan Bowman right to the bottom side. He'll shove up the racetrack right in front of Cameron McGlashan. A little bit of contact through turn number 2 as McGlashan tried the crossover to get clear of Bowman. He's now able to do so down the back straightaway. And that's what Josh Bullen wants to see. He's already checked out. Almost a half straight lead on the battle for second. The Kawartha Metal Fabrication ORV Auto 83 machine. McGlashan up to the second spot. Looks like they're going to be 3 wide down the back straightaway. Here comes Cole Quinton in the 18 machine. Trying to split Curtis Stewart and Bowman in the 07 machine. Bowman goes way up the hill, drives through the bush. And that Ford Mustang, he's going to fall back a couple spots, and that's going to allow Quinton in the 18 machine to jump up to the 3rd spot. Curtis Stewart up to 4th. Here comes Dan Timo now in the 45 machine, looking the inside of Bowman, looking to take the 5th spot away. Out front, though, Crew, nice open racetrack, smooth sailing for the 67er Josh Cole, the FX Stone and Paving. CW Coops of Young Street in Innisfil. Ford Mustang just out in front. Quinton now looking all over the rear bumper of Cameron McGlashan. Cast iron Cameron McGlashan, the former Sunset Speedway Mini Stock Track Champion. Trying to hold on to the 2nd spot. That ORV Auto, Daryl Ecott, Custom Die-Cast, Ford Mustang. Quinton with a run now. This Fire Protection 18 machine down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Side by side down into turn number 3. McGlashan going to fall in line. Try the crossover move. See if he can get second back down on the bottom. Doesn't have enough of a run off of 4. to get back to the inside of the 18 machine. Laps winding down here in qualifying heat race number 3 for the mini stock division. Fastest time cam goes a lap down, 2 laps to go at the line, this time by for the Innisfil Creek Golf Course. Auto trim design of Barry, 67 machine of Josh Bullen. McGlashan now having to deal with the 6 of Curtis Stewart. Stewart trying to close in. The Lakeside Automotive, Big Rock Landscaping, Acura Integra. Had some issues last Saturday night. Had some handling issues in the first round of qualifying, but as that car turning much better here, trying to get back to 3rd and get past 83. And McGlashan gets a little loose, almost makes contact with McGlashan's rear bumper that time through 1 and 2. Final time off before checkered flag in the air. Josh Bullen going to pick up the win. And it'll be Quinton coming home in 2nd, McGlashan in 3rd, Stewart 4th, and Dan Timo is going to round out the top 5. So Josh Bullen, a lot of heat wins this year, a lot of podium finishes. The only thing missing from the statistics column this year is that win. The feature win has eluded him this year. He's been 2nd many a time and 3rd a few others, but still looking for that first feature win. And right now that 67 car looks strong through both rounds of qualifying here tonight. He's going to clean sweep of his heat races. He's got the checkered flag over in turn number 4, going to pull down to victory lane. The Innisfil Creek Golf Course, FX Stone and Paving, Big Brian Sunstone, CW Coops, Innisfil, Sydney Computer Services, Ryan's Landscaping, Auto Trim Design, Barry. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Your Heat 3 winner, Josh Bullen. Bullen gets the photo, gets the Heat win sticker on the side of the car, and he'll go back and prepare for feature race action later on. Looking to make the hat trick here tonight after sweeping both his heat races. The young man out of Innisfil, Ontario. Final qualifying heat race of the evening. On track now for the GD Coats Used Car Superstore Mini Stock Division. Starting on pole is Ryan Dantimo out of Bradford for the local 46. Next in line is the 8 machine from North Bay, Ontario. It's Paul Vogelsberger Jr. The flat rate towing and recovery, R&M Automotive, Junior's Tire. Ford Mustang 15 machine out of Barrie, Ontario. It's former Sunset Speedway feature winner Mike Robinson Jr. aboard the Mike Shaved Dodge Neon. The Amp Pro Electric. Ideal Supply Napa Auto Parts. Craft Automotive Repair Services. Pro Floor Standing and Finishing Dodge Neon. The 99 machine is Jeff Richard. The West Nipissing Collision Center ride out of North Bay, Ontario. 24 is Jeff LaFlemme. LaFlemme in the bone stock here tonight after issues with the mini stock last Saturday. So he's got the racing tires on, the racing rims, converted over what he can. The 5 machine is Peter Wakeling out of Holland Landing, Ontario. The McKelly Motors, Carmichael Bin Rentals, Auto Trim Design of Barrie Ford Mustang. 76 machine is Sean Taylor. Flamborough Speedway regular, driving the Nissan 240SX. And rounding out the field, the 73 machine out of Barrie, Ontario is Alan Lankin. The Timmerman Timberworks K-Studio Hair Salon Ford Mustang. Redline Science and Apparel with a great wrap on that Ford Mustang. NTM Bearings Pace Truck hits pit road. Final qualifying heat race of the night. Green flag in the air. Dan Timo down on the bottom, driving the Dodge Neon. Split his time this year between the mini stock and limited late model divisions here at Sunset Speedway. He's got a great run down the back straightaway. Vogelsberger Jr. trying to fire back. That Ford Mustang very fast up on the high side of the racetrack. But here comes Mike Robinson Jr. The Pro Force Standing and Finishing, Ideal Supply Napa Auto Parts. 15 machine, working the bottom side of the racetrack. Picked up the win in the first round of qualifying. Robinson Jr. filling in for Charlie Smith here tonight. Smith already has a feature win behind the wheel of that Neon this year here at Sunset Speedway. Dan Timo starting to inch ahead down the bottom side of the racetrack. The flat rate towing and recovery. 8 machine of Vogelsberger Jr. trying to hang tough up on the high side. Falling back now. Robinson Jr. to take over second. Down on the bottom side of the racetrack, trying to follow Dan Timo down on the bottom side. A pair of Neons now run 1-2 at the line. Jeff Richard doing a great job. The West Nipissing Collision Ford Mustang runs in the 4th spot. Pair of drivers from North Bay, 3rd and 4th at the moment. Robinson Jr. now able to clear Vogelsberger Jr. with a little bit of clean racetrack. See what he can do with the 46 of Dan Timo. He's going to go up to the high side of the racetrack, but that's going to open the door. Here comes Paul Vogelsberger Jr. down on the bottom. The R&M Automotive, King's Transport, number 8 machine. Trying to make the bottom side work, trying to get back to the 2nd spot. Robinson Jr. falling back a little on the high side. That Amp Pro Electrical. Bike shop. Dodge Neon. Now in a great battle for second. D'Antimo likes what he sees in the rear view mirrors. The laps wind down. Robinson with a great run down the back straightaway. Almost able to clear Bogensberger down into turn number 3. Unable to do so. Bogensberger going to fire back on the bottom, down the front straightaway. Popsicle 6 in the air. 2 laps to go with the line. This time by for Ryan D'Antimo. Robinson Jr. now able to clear Bogensberger Jr. But he's might run out of time. White flag in the air. This time by trying to get back to the UA Local 46 machine of Ryan D'Antimo. Trying to put the pressure on. Here comes the Pro Floor Sandiger finishing 15 machine of Mike Robinson Jr. One last run. Dives to the inside. Doesn't have enough to make it work. Final time off of 4. Heat win. Going to go to Ryan D'Antimo. Robinson Jr. for second. Bogensberger Jr. in third. Fourth will go to Jeff Richard. And fifth will be Sean Taylor as they were 3 wide at the line for the 5th spot. So that will conclude qualifying here for our home track divisions at Sunset Speedway. We'll see them again later on. 30 laps for the St. Arch Recreation Superstocks, 25 laps for the GD Coats Used Car Superstore Mini Stock Division. But right now coming down to victory lane, driving the 46 machine. The UA Local 46 it. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Your Heat 4 winner, Ryan D'Antimo.
So that will conclude qualifying for the Super Stocks and Mini Stocks here this afternoon. Last chance qualifier for the APC Series not required, so that will scratch off the schedule. And that will send us up next with the main events for both the Super Stocks and the Mini Stocks here. We're going to take a quick break here on G-Force TV. We'll be back live here from Sunset Speedway.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave Ribs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
What makes a trailer a Miska? Is it the heavy-duty Canadian steel they're made from? Or is it the exceptional finish that will last year after year? How about knowing that these are the best back trailers in the industry? These are the reasons you buy Miska. So what makes these trailers a Miska? It's the hard-working Canadians who craft them. We are Miska. We are Canadian tough.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Quick perfected fire. Quick Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
A guy like this, who relies on his truck for work, knows that his truck will take care of him if he takes care of his truck. And WeatherTech has always been the ultimate protection. From floor liners to no-drill mud flaps to tech liner for your truck bed to bump step to the handy under-seat storage system. And Cup Phone keeps phones secure in any cup holder. Order your ultimate protection today at weathertech.ca.
When you think about it, productivity starts at planting. So it's time to rethink how productive your planter can be. We did with the new Case IH 2000 Series Early Riser Planter. We rethought your row unit so it's tougher, more accurate. We rethought your meter, took the most precise technology, factory installed it. We rethought every inch of the Case IH Early Riser Planter to make it the most productive planter around. And if you think about it, that's exactly what you want.
This G-Force TV broadcast is brought to you by WeatherTech custom cut floor mats and vehicle accessories. Visit them online at weathertech.ca. Pinty's, making great food fun. Back live at Sunset Speedway for the APC Series on GeForce TV, round number 3 heading into tonight, and a beautiful night for racing. Adam, we couldn't have asked for clearer skies, nicer temperatures, everything just perfect about this day, and that's not been the case as of late at some of the racetracks we go to.
Man, it's been a tough stretch. Mother Nature has been a challenge to deal with for racetrack promoters, for us, for the racers, but today is picture perfect. You need to have these days once in a while. Phenomenal crowd, phenomenal weather, great field of cars. It's what keeps us coming back.
And tonight, one of the big stories in the APC Series, we documented it earlier on in qualifying, is that 32 car, the RenaMotoGroup.com, number 32 of Trayton Lapsevich, who will be here tonight. He will start the feature, but will have to start at the tail of the Dayco 100 tonight. He'll start 25th, and Adam, he's racing with the NASCAR Pinty Series down in Quebec, flying back in time to make it for the main event here this evening. Interesting story, because then he's got to turn around and drive back to Quebec after the race tonight.
Yeah, that was the part that fascinated me, at the long drive back. But I'd imagine so the whole family can go back for the race tomorrow. Qualified well in the top 10. They had made their way to the airport. I haven't checked his Twitter feed just yet to see if they've given updates on where they are, but Marvin Freiberger helped them with that operation, helped him get back here to Sunset Speedway, so that's going to be a fun story to watch.
And this afternoon, our Clinton Jeffrey caught up with Sherry Lapsevich, Trayton's mother, and had a word with her.
Series, one to the other, trying to make it all happen. Are you nervous? Are you scared, proud, happy? What are your feelings for Trayton today?
I'm nervous, really nervous. I mean, especially it being the first time on a road course and that, I was pretty, just wanted him to get it done in one piece, practice, qualifying. He did well, he qualified 9th, so really proud of that. Scared too, I'm terrified of flying myself in that, so knowing he's up in that small plane, that's a bit terrifying for me, but you know what, I couldn't be prouder of him and all the boys in that,
So they've done very well. His speed's been amazing. You got to be happy, but you haven't had the finishes. How we've talked to him and know how it is from the driver's seat, but from a mom's perspective, are you just as angry and frustrated as the guys are?
I'm frustrated, yeah, but you know what, that's racing in that a lot of racing is luck in that, and sooner or later, hopefully we get that luck that goes along with all the speed.
For sure, Sherry. Thanks for talking to us. Good luck here today. We'll watch for your boys.
Thank you.
Sherry Lapsevich, one of the hardest working moms in the pit area today, with a lot on her mind as Trayton flies in from Grand Prix Trois-Rivières to race the APC Series tonight.
And Adam, what a successful family. I mean, every driver in that family history, in that family tree, has had success, even going to Ryden Lapsevich earlier on this year. Started in his very first race with the Super Stocks and finished on the podium. It seems like everything they touch turns to gold, but you couldn't ask for it from a better family,
Amazing people, and I mean, we've been good friends with the Lapseviches for a long time, so we have them on our Facebook. It doesn't stop at motorsports. Ryden is a great football player. Exactly. Trayton is a scholastic. Every one of them, Jan, I believe, is still in gymnastics, but I'm not sure. Just one thing after another. Fun people to be around. They get the most out of everything that they do.
There's images of Trayton today in Quebec as he's driving in the NASCAR Pinty Series full-time here in 2021. And again, you heard his mom talking about being probably less nervous about the racing and more nervous about being in that airplane. So cool for Clinton to get down there and get that story and that behind-the-scenes story. And that was not the only story surrounding that car and that family tonight. In practice earlier on this afternoon, Lane Zardo drove the car and was the quickest in practice, so pretty impressive there. And for Trayton, he's got a lot of work to do, but we know he's got a good car under him when he takes the green flag.
And if he was going to do that for any racetrack, Sunset Speedway is the best place for him to jump behind the wheel of something. He's got lots of laps here, a lot of confidence in what he's about to drive.
Early on this afternoon, Clinton Jeffrey caught up with a few different faces down in the pit area as well, and one of those was Jake Sheridan. Jake's one of those ones, he talked to Sherry Lapsovich about Trayton not having the finishes that they'd hoped for. Man, Jake Sheridan over the last 2 years has been right there in contention for victories, and tonight he comes in with another shot at a win, and that Pride Seeds 52. Clinton Jeffrey caught up with Jake Sheridan.
We're here in the pits. I caught Jake. Jake, safe to say you haven't had the luck you want, but you've had tons of speed. What can you guys do in the shop prior to today to make sure you have the finishes you deserve this season?
I think just keep on going. We've had a really fast race car. Flamborough showed that big time. So, I don't know. I think we've done what we can here today. Just prep as much as we can. Just double check everything as much as you can. That's all you can do, right? So just see if we can't be on the right side of this one when we come to the checker flag.
Sunset a place you're comfortable at?
No, actually, we haven't really had much of a good run here. Like, every time we come here, we either break or crash or something happens, never got to figure it out. So I was saying that at practice today, I was like, I don't know, I guess we're fast. I don't really know what we need to feel like for the end of the race here. So kind of took a stab in the dark, but let's just see. Hopefully we can keep some tires underneath it here. This place is really abrasive. So see if we can keep some tires on it and make it our lap 99 and just go from there.
All right, good luck tonight.
Thanks, Glenn. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
About another really good racing family, the Sheridan family, and it was a week ago Nick Sheridan got to victory lane with the Action Sprint Tour, and brother Jake here this evening with the APC Series, and their dad, obviously, Ron Sheridan. If anyone knows even a little bit about Ontario asphalt racing, they'll know the name Ron Sheridan. So it's another family that knows how to get it done, and man, they are such a personable family as well, and super to talk to.
Yeah, they really are. Ron Sheridan has had a lot of success at Delaware Speedway, in various places, but a lot of success at Delaware Speedway. His boys have branched out. They're good everywhere they go.
So again, just getting ready for mini stocks and super stocks to line up for their feature events here tonight, and around 8:10 will be driver introductions for the APC Series Dayco 100 here this afternoon from Sunset Speedway, round number 3. Next Saturday, we will head to Sauble Speedway, and back on July the 31st, that first event at Sauble was canceled, so what they have done is put together 2 75-lap events, and we'll have them both for you next Saturday night right here on G4 TV. So the APC Series rounds number 4 and 5 will take place from Sauble Speedway next Saturday night live here on GeForce TV, and check later on in the week for start times on that. We haven't seen the itinerary just yet for that day of racing, but it's going to be action-packed, and looking forward to returning to the beach. And it was a shame that they couldn't get it in on the long weekend because, Adam, they probably would have had a fantastic crowd that Civic Holiday weekend.
Yeah, I heard they had a great crowd for their Wednesday night show. Pictures that I saw sure made it seem that way. So, and that's what you want to see. That's the great thing about the APC Series, the Quick Super Stock Series, and of course a lot of the special events that get scheduled around the province is it's designed to bring the crowds, right? You like having strength in every different region of the series.
And should make mention, last Saturday night, the Quick Super Stock Series was at Peterborough Speedway. Had a great collection of cars there for that event. Carson Nagy picked up the win in what sounded like a great event down at Peterborough Speedway last Saturday night.
Yeah, that was good to see Carson Nagy. I'm not sure what his stats are like on that series, but I don't remember seeing him in the winners column of very many big super stock events. I know he's had some success where different places that he goes, but it's good to keep the field honest. Trevor Culver, who was leading the points in that series, crashed out on lap number 1.
Yeah, that was the big note. We were watching Race Monitor from Southern Ontario Motor Speedway last Saturday night, and you pointed that out, so heartbreaker there for Trevor Culver. Another driver that Clinton caught up with earlier on this afternoon, and I don't know how he had time to do it because it seemed like we were ready to go right to racing for qualifying here tonight, with Sean Chenoweth. He showed up all of a sudden last minute, and our Clinton Jeffrey had a chance to catch up with him.
Well, here's Sean Chenoweth. Sean, trying to push your car into tech. How do you feel about Sunset here? Is it a place you're happy at?
I've struggled here a lot in the past with different classes, and we've had some good runs. We just 11:30 this morning, I decided to load up and come on up here. I didn't turn a lap of practice, nothing, so we'll see how she works and go from there.
You're a guy who speaks your mind and the frustration when it comes out. A lot of talk after the Flamborough race that it was a Flamborough problem, a driver problem, but you're one of the guys who said, look, guys, we got to take care of our own self here. Your thoughts on all the controversy and the carnage that we've seen so far in the APC Series?
You just got a lot of guys out here, and I mean, everybody's trying to get everything they can, but you got a lot of guys out here that, for some reason, think they need to win everything on the first lap or 10 laps into a run. And Flamboro's a tight little racetrack, but you can't put any onus on Flamborough for what happened there. All of us drivers need to put our head on straight. This car actually just came from Flamborough. I ran a 100-lapper there last week. You can walk your camera around it. The left side dents are from the last APC race. There's still not a mark on the right side. We ran another 100-lapper there, so it's not a track issue. It's a series issue, or more so a driver issue, and the guys need to figure out some respect for each other. I mean, these aren't cheap little toys we're playing with, and some of them drive them like it's just a throwaway.
Let's talk about, you said, trying to win it on lap 10. At what point in a 100-lap race should go time be in your mind?
I think if you got a shot at it, you know where you're at in the field. I'd say if you're in the top 5 or top 8 even with 25, 30 to go, you need to start positioning yourself where you're ready to make a run. Other than that, I mean, and the tech guys tell us every week, if it's not your day, it's not your day. If you're running 15th in this class, you ain't winning that race that day. So maybe see if you can get a top 10, whatever, but you don't need to tear up cars to do it. I think it's like $100 a position back there, and you can't even put a fender on one of these for $100.
Good luck today, Sean.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Sean Chenoweth coming into tonight, I think, is a driver to keep your eye on because he is someone that's not points racing. Missed the first race at Delaware. I think I mentioned this was his first race of the year, but he was at the Flamborough race, round number 2. So you got a driver who's very talented, not points racing. He's out there for the win. And Sean's, I think he's a hard racer. I think he's a fair racer, but he's one that I enjoy watching. And that type of driver, when they're not points racing, can be fun to watch on a night like tonight.
I enjoy watching Sean race. I enjoy listening to what he has to say as well. He's got great perspective, and if you're on social media, again, look him up. It's not always the most polished things that Sean says, but there's generally an awful lot of truth in the words that come out of that man's mouth.
Yep, no, for sure, for Sean Chenoweth. So keep an eye on that 89C here tonight as well. And the one other interview that Clinton had a chance to do this afternoon was with Ryan Kimball, and I put him in that category of having some really strong performances, but just not having that luck to finish it out. But he's a driver I wouldn't be surprised, especially here at Sunset, to have a good run here tonight. And our Clinton Jeffrey caught up with flying Ryan Kimball.
Well, we caught up with Ryan Kimball. Ryan, how's your season been going here in this APC series this year? It's been tough racing, but you guys have been quick at a lot of times.
Yeah, I'd have to say it's gone pretty tough. Considering this is our third race, we always got speed. We're always in top of the chart or, in the top group for qualifying and whatnot. We're just looking for race speed. Had a really good car at Flamborough, just fell in, running 5th and whatnot, and a couple guys got a little impatient and just plain dumped me, right? So, it is what it is. It's frustrating that these guys want to race like that, but, there's 25 really stout cars here today, and we got a lot of speed, so hopefully got a good car at the end. Guys at SMG Motorsports put together a really good piece. McCall's, can't say enough about my guys.
How do you feel here at Sunset? Is it a place you're comfortable, Ryan?
Considering a couple of years ago, I would say I hated this place, but we brought our other car up there and won a couple of weeks ago, so, it's got a little bit of confidence there, but this car is really good here, so we'll hopefully got something in the end.
Tell you what, Sean Grossman that owns that race team, he does not do things halfway. Everything he does is at full speed, professionally done, and that bullet that Ryan Kimball will be sitting in tonight will be a contender.
It should be, and he's got a real good starting spot. He's going to start from the front row tonight, Greg. Hey, look, there's a famous race car driver walking right alongside Rick Spencer-Walt. No, you're not the famous race car driver. You used to be. The fame, that's right. Racing runs in the family. Again, social media is great. You get to keep up with people's racing endeavors and sharing the success.
Well, you had a race car driver drive you here to the track tonight.
We didn't hit anything.
How's the right front?
Well worn. The left side of the car looks mint. But it's fun. That's, this is family fun. Greg, we missed this. And folks, so if you've been to races already this year, we apologize if we're about to repeat ourselves, but it was such a privilege to be able to present races last year and stream them for people to watch from home during COVID. But boy, oh boy, have we missed people in the grandstands.
The atmosphere it's hard to describe when you're here and there are no fans in the stands. It felt, although the racing was real, it didn't feel real. There was not that energy, not that atmosphere that you would expect when the lights come on at night and the stands are empty, and definitely great to see the stands packed. Well, 75% full here 75%. Tonight. Last week, again, we saw a fantastic crowd at Southern Ontario Motor Speedway for our broadcast down there, and great to see the smiling faces back in the stands, and glad you could join us here tonight. For those watching at home here on GeForce TV, again, getting ready for tonight's Super Stock and Mini Stock feature events here. It's the regular divisions on the card for Sunset Speedway. Their regular Mini Stock, Super Stock divisions here, racing for points. And then the APC Series running the Dayco 100 this evening here on GeForce TV.
And again, to explain, so the entire starting grid of the Dayco 100, all the APC cars sitting on the infield. This is what's called an impound race. So in order to keep costs down, make sure people are doing things the way you intend them to by the rule book, once you qualify, that is how your car is going to start the race. If something fails and you need to fix it, you can't ask permission, then they may let you go back to the pits and you'll be under the supervision of officials. But otherwise, the reason they put these cars on the infield is so nobody can work on them. You can't change tires. You can't work on your tires. You can't make adjustments to the car. What it is what it is.
Yeah, the only adjustments I've seen made on these cars is Cale Thompson going through from Thompson's Photography, and he'll attach some GoPros on the sidebars, the roll bars inside the cars, and usually every week around Monday you can catch all that action from the in-car shots, and they do a fantastic job with that. They'll be running the drone here again this evening as well.
Yeah, some amazing views. Amazing views. So if you're here enjoying the show, check it out when you get home. And it's fun. It's fun for us to be able to showcase different racetracks all across the province, right? And it's exciting that people know, some of them know a little bit more about Flamborough Speedway than they did, or Delaware, or some of the dirt tracks that we go to. There's so many great spots around the province to take in a show.
Always a pleasure to come here to Sunset Speedway. The Toddish family do it first class all the way. And I want to thank them for welcoming us here this afternoon, as well as Brendan for having us in his tower tonight. And we're always weary of that, making sure, that this is the tower for each home track announcer, and we appreciate the job that they have on a weekly basis, because it's a lot harder than what you and I do here on GeForce TV. So I don't know how you remember all those sponsors, Brendan. About 10 years ago, I maybe could do half of that, but you do a fantastic job with that, and 4 kids will do that to you.
Yeah, that keeps you occupied.
If I had sponsors, I wouldn't be able to remember them.
Now, Brendan's a father.
How many, though? Just two. See, he's a rookie.
Just
he's a rookie.
Some of us learned what was causing these things and slammed on the brakes after 1 or 2. If you want to make your own basketball team, you have at it. Brendan, come on in here if you don't mind. Yeah. And what are we going to see? I'm particularly interested in this super stock race. I enjoy all of it. I love mini stock racing across the province. But are the super stocks always as contentious as they were tonight?
They've been pretty clean so far this year. They haven't been a lot of laying the bumper to guys and moving them. They've been a little bit. I mean, we had Dan Archibald and Johnny Morrison for the lead, but I mean that was closing laps for the win. We're not talking lap 1 of a heat race. So these drivers, they're ready to go. They're ready to put on a show here tonight. And I was joking with Ann Walters pit side there about Garrett Tamirsma and Stompin' Tom getting into it. So I mean, for Tom, that checks the box on 3 generations. Raced with Steve Tamirsma here in the limited late model division through the 2000s. Back in the late model days with Steve and Derek Tamirsma, and now Steve's son Garrett. So it's kind of funny that he's mixed up with all 3 generations at one point here at Sunset Speedway, and able to check that box tonight.
If you're competitive in a class that Tom Walters has ever raced in, then you've mixed it up with Tom Walters. And it's so much fun to watch. I mean, I've watched him race for a long, long time, and he hasn't lost that fiery edge, that burning desire to give it back.
No, and it was great last week. So he's got a hot rod now as well. So he was here last Sunday with the Nightworks Designs Hot Rod Series, and putting on a show at the front of the field. Him and Jesse Kennedy ended up mixing it up, which I thought was something very cool to see. It was always one of those, Jesse was off running Cascar Sportsman, or he was running Delaware when they were the Sportsman era, and so very, very little interaction over the years between, almost like the best of the West and the best of the East in Walters and Kennedy. So that was cool to see, and it is very cool to see Walters out here still competing with, the different generation of drivers, and maybe something they learn from, things he can show them, and, he still gets to come out and have his fun.
Oh, absolutely. Now, I do want to ask, do you handicap your super stocks and your mini stocks?
No, so it's fast qualifier will draw an invert, which I would have to check and see. Oh, we're doing handicap now. So we are after the third night. So
where will high points or high money start in the field? Oh, and people are leaping to attention in the tower. I don't want to ruin the surprise, but I love, and we've been having this conversation in our travels, in good competitive divisions like this, there's nothing more fulfilling to me than watching a handicap system at work and seeing the best of that given season and that given class have to work through the field.
Your fourth cylinder lineup right there.
So being hand delivered to us, this is great service.
You wouldn't get it from me.
We're getting notes and everything on it. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
This is more than I get on a Saturday. Saturday I just show up and just wing it, and whatever we get is.
Well, there's company here.
Yeah. So everyone's putting their best foot forward. I like it. So we got I believe it'd be I want to say it's very hard to say who the point leader is coming in. I think this is how well prepared.
Even some of the top guns.
Yeah, but out front it's going to be Morrison, who's had his struggles. He had a win basically taken away from him the late going, so that relegated him to a deeper finish. So I would say we're probably about the 8 of Parker is probably one of the front runners, so we probably got about an invert of 7 right now looking at it tonight. So
they got a little bit of work to do. I just enjoy it. One thing I think it's done, and I haven't had this conversation, Greg, I'd love to hear your input on it as well. I think you would see more respectful racing even in the APC series and some of these top series if they knew that every week you're going to have that invert of coming through the field from 16th. So there's not as much of I don't want to say a sense of entitlement as what caused some bent race cars at Flamborough, but there was always a different style of racing back in the day when let's say Tom Walters in the heyday of late models was starting 15th every night. There was a different pecking order and a different style of how you would race people watching them come through the field.
Yeah, it does throw that different element into it, and I think you're right on that aspect. I like it for some divisions, and I don't like it for others. I know we talked about it last week with the Action Sprint Tour, Dirt Sportsman, or another type, where those engines are so equal that you put a top runner and bury him deep in the field. It's very likely he's not going to make his way back up through the field because those engines are so close and so evenly matched. It makes it tough. But I don't know. What's your thought on this, Brendan? Because I'm not here on a regular basis. Does it work, or does it achieve what it's supposed to do?
I mean, I've always been a fan of the invert. I started here crewing for a late model team with Ken Bemrose, and every week we would keep track of where we would start in the feature the next week as long as we qualified in on our points to the heat races. So it puts another element into it because your heat races are so much more important as well that you're going to want to run respectful and make sure you keep the car together for it. When we ran the double features here as part of the NASCAR series, they put a bonus on it. So if you started, I think, the second feature, you had the choice because we would run the first feature and we would invert, I think, 12 cars into the second one. But you could go and restart at the tail of the field for the second feature and pay double the points to NASCAR. So it's just so many interesting layers to it, and everyone's doing something different. But I do love the invert. I mean, back in the days here at Sunset when, things were real good and you were doing almost 18-car inverts. It was very hard every week for the points leaders to get to the front, and it really gave some of those guys that aren't the top point guys that are starting up front. It gives them a chance for a little bit to maybe have a night where they hit the setup and they run away with it.
Well, and to that point that you just made, it also gives some of these drivers that don't have a chance to run up at the front on a normal basis, in a normal scenario, to run up at the front and gain that experience that they wouldn't running mid-pack for years.
It made qualifying heats that much more important. So going back to my time decades ago in a vintage modified, you had to make the handicap, right? So you only took 5 cars out of each heat, or 4, depending on what heat you were in. So if you didn't get there, you weren't going to start in the top 18. Yeah. If you did get there, you might start on the pole, right? So a top 5, it just, racing has changed so much, and some for the better, a lot for the better, and some of it's just change. But you had to know the system, like you say, Brendan. You had to know the system to know what you're up against.
Well, looks like it's feature time for the Super Stock, so I'll step back out of the way and let Brendan get in here and do what he does best, bringing the lineup.
So here we go, 30 laps the distance on the Fast 80 Raceway scoreboard for the St. Ange Recreation Super Stock Divisions. Looks to be starting on the pole, be the 83 machine, the North Country Park Newman's Freddie Damn Good Fries ride of Johnny Morrison, the Chevrolet Camaro, to his outside of the 17 machine out of Newmarket, Ontario, the third generation racer, the Speedy Auto Machine Line X. First choice roofing, Simon & Sons Window and Doors, 17 of Garrett Tmiersma, 47 machine out of Stroud, Ontario, with Stomp and Tom Walters, the 30-time champion across the province of Ontario and an active member of the Canadian Motorsports Hall of Fame. The B&B Towing Red Line Signs and Apparel, 47 machine, 49 machine is Flying Frank Davey, your reigning and defending Sunset Speedway Super Stock Track champion out of Innisfil, Ontario, the Bullseye Axle and Green Steel Roof.ca, Talk Performance, Hamley Construction, number 49 machine, 21B machine out of Acton, Ontario. The Bennett Mechanical Thringco Streamline Race Products ride is Showtime Matt Bentley, the former Sunset Speedway Velocity 250 champion in the Super Stock division. 48 machine, a former Sunset Speedway Late Model Track champion, the Nisco National Leasing, GD Coast Used Car Superstore, Clearview Heating, Four Valleys Excavating, B&B Towing, and Redline Signs and Apparel. It's the bully Dwayne Baker, the 8 machine out of Port Elgin, Ontario. The Ron Gibbons Construction, K&K Lawn Care, Virtue Farms, Mowbray's Canadian Tire, Port Elgin, Sauging Shores Transmission Ride. It's the New Age Punisher, Jason Parker, aboard the 829 machine is Paul Pepper out of North Bay, Ontario. The Humberview Parts.ca, ImageRaps.ca, 29 machine, 52 machine, runner-up in points here at Sunset Speedway in 2019 out of Innisfil, Ontario. The Simcoe Barge and Breakwall, TJ Memories, Canadian Car Care Ride. It's Brandon Passer aboard the 52. 36 machine, 2 feature wins this year here at Sunset Speedway. The Wesley Ford Motors, Besters Forest Products, TJM Construction, Badger Hydrobacking, Al Wright's Backhoeing. His former Sunset Speedway Super Stock Track champion, driving the Bad Fast Ford Mustang. It's the Thrillbilly Lane Zardo, 30 machine out of Oro, Ontario, former Barrie Speedway Thundercar Track champion. And 3-time Sunset Speedway Late Model Track champion, driving the Elmer's Lighting Supplies, InkYourRide.com. Next Level Automotive Performance Ride, it's Hard Body Gord Shepard. 71 machine, filling in for car owner Corey McAllister, District Energy Systems, Caldecott Millwright, Coming Clean, Junk Dogs, Butterball Turkeys. Number 71, it's the Upgrade Rick Walsh, your reigning and defending Sunset Speedway Late Model Track champion. 60 machine is Bailey Jacobs, the Heavy Equipment Repair, Kawartha, Lakefield Napa Auto Parts Ride. The Peterborough Speedway regular 93 machine is Carson Nagy, the Queenston Chevrolet Pure Energy Performance Transaxle Truck Parts 93. He is your most recent winner with the Quick Week Super Stock Series out of Peterborough Speedway. And rounding out the field, the Benson Tire North Bay 5 machine is Steve Lazzari. NTN Bearings Pace Truck, lights are extinguished, he'll hit pit road this time by. Set to fire 30 laps on the Fast 80 Raceway scoreboard for the St. Ange Recreation Super Stocks. Johnny Morrison, Garrett Tmiersma going to lead the field to green off at turn number 4. Jeff Slaughter, the head starter here at Sunset Speedway. Green flag in the air. We are racing with the Super Stock division. Tmiersma up on the high side of the racetrack. Morrison down low. Tmiersma with the edge. Down the back straight with the horsepower advantage. The big Speedy Auto Machine power plant under the hood going to work with the 17 machine. Morrison trying to take the track away, using all he can on the bottom side of the racetrack, but still trying to be respectful and stays off Tmiersma down the front straightaway. Walters and Davies side by side. That's the battle just behind your leaders. Tmiersma now with the advantage down the back straightaway on the high side of the racetrack. He'll go to the lead down in turn number 3. Morrison back to second. The Wave Freight Line X first choice roofing 17 machine now out in front. Here comes the 47 to Stomp and Tom Walters down the bottom side of the racetrack. Morrison up high through turns 1 and 2. The North Country Park Maintenance Freddie's Damn Good Fries machine trying to hold off the 30-time champion of Stomp and Tom Walters side by side now for second. Morrison still with the advantage at the line that time by. Walters the great run through 1 and 2 down on the bottom. The Red Line Science Apparel, B&B Towing 47 machine trying to make the bottom side of the racetrack work. The battle for second just ahead of Flying Frank Davey. He's now side by side with the bully Dwayne Baker, and now here comes Matt Bentley the inside, and contact around goes the 49 at Davey. They were almost 3 wide with Dwayne Baker and Matt Bentley and Davey off of turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. I didn't see exactly how that happened and what caused the 49 to go around, so I'll have to see if we can get it on the G-Force replay. The Talk Performance Shepard Donks, Green Steel Roof.ca 49 machine. Now Davey able to drive away from the scene, but he's going to go tail end of the longest line now. And if you're Garrett Tmiersma, that's the last thing he wanted to see Actually, had already started to build a lead and pull away from the rest of the field. This is going to bring him back now. We go to the G-Force replay. And you just see it there. The 48 of Baker just got a little too deep and into the rear of the 49 machine. Didn't take much under braking to send the 49 car around.
This should be a good angle right here. See the gap close.
And
yeah, like you said, didn't take much at all.
No, and I mean, Davey'd already made contact with Bentley on the inside. He was very surprised coming down the front straightaway that Bentley had the run to the inside of him that he did. So the car might have already been upset trying to come back up the racetrack and off the 21, entering turn number 1. But it looks like they're actually going to deem the 21 Bentley an involved car, so he's going to go to the back now.
I hear Clinton Jeffrey down trackside.
Yeah, down here in pits, the Steve Lazzari number 5, they go to work under the hood. Look like they made a slight adjustment here on the right front. They will leave with the hood still off on the 5, and he will make his way back to the speedway.
Lazzari, who's had numerous issues here this afternoon, was facing the wrong way in the second round of qualifying, had some issues in practice this afternoon. The Benson Tire North Bay 5 machine going to rejoin the tail of the field. It looks like we're just working to get some of these drivers where they need to be. It's like a little bit of an issue between Parker and Zardo on who's got the spot. Sunset officials working to sort that one out. So line up not quite good yet.
The thing I like about this racetrack is the sweeping corners with lots of room, because I've never raced here at this racetrack, but I can imagine as a driver that must give you a lot of options down in the corner, and sometimes we'll see where a driver thinks there's more than there really is because it is so deceivingly wide.
Gives you a lot of options, but a lot of them don't work, Brendan. That's the challenge. We heard people say, oh, I never do good here at Sunset. You think, well, why? It's so wide. Because the people that are good at it are really good.
Well, with the wide sweeping corners, it's very much so on the line you run. And even I seen J.R. Fitzpatrick post to Facebook last night. He was out here testing, getting pointers from Dwayne Baker, a former champion here in the weight and all division, on where to enter the corner and how to run. It's a very tricky track. A lot of drivers prefer the late exit or the late entrance to try to sweep the corner. So if you can do that, that's the quick way around. But it's very hard to do and nail it right. Green flag back in the air. 4 laps complete. 26 laps remain here on the Fast City Racers scoreboard with the Superstock. Walter slides into second, putting the bumper to 17 at Tamir Smith through 1 and 2. The Wayfreight Line X. Simon & Sons, windows and doors, 17 machine back out in front. Baker now side by side with Morrison for the 3rd spot up on the high side of the racetrack with the Disco National League. GD Coach used cars with our 48 machine. Zardo now looking for room to work. Here comes the Vestas Forest Products. Leslie Ford Motorist, 36 machine. To the outside of Morrison, looking to follow Baker through. Top 3 now run nose to tail, side by side for the 4th spot. Zardo going to come over with the position. He'll slide in line. Now he's looking to the inside of Baker for the 3rd spot, off a turn 2 and down the back straightaway. The big Ford power plant under the hood of the 36 machine. Going to work, putting the power down the straightaways, and gets the run to the inside of Baker. The GD Coach used car superstar. Redline, Science Apparel 48 machine now up the racetrack. Zardo trying to come through for the 3rd spot. Out front, though, Tamir pulling away from the 47 of Walters. Brandon Pastor on the move now, looking to the inside of the North Country Property Maintenance 83 machine of Johnny Morrison. Just outside the top 5. Zardo now with the run down the back straightaway. The Vestas Forest Products, Badger Hydro backing, 36 machine. Works the bottom side of the racetrack. He'll go to the 3rd spot. Baker gets shuffled back to 4th. Zardo with 2 feature wins this year here at Sunset Speedway. Trying to go to work to reel in the 47 to stop to Tom Walters, who holds down the 2nd spot in the B&B Towing Redline Science and Apparel 47 ride. Walters with the moment there gets sideways. We got trouble Steve Lazzari around the Benson Tire North Bay 5 machine. Solo spin over in turns 1 and 2. We'll draw on the caution. They're able to keep the car running, so he'll come out of the infield and now tag on tail end of the longest line. So if you're Zardo, that's exactly what you wanted to see. You were going to have a very hard time closing the gap to Tamir Smith, who'd already checked out. You were going to have to get to the 47 of Walters first, try to get by him, and then reel in Tamir Smith. This is going to make it a little bit easier, bringing the 17 car back to the field now. So Lazzari down pit road again. Looks like the Crew getting ready to go over the wall once again and go to work on the Benson tire number 5 machine. The crew in the window just having a discussion with the driver as to what they want to do on that 5 machine to try to get the handling bettered on the 5. Field giving the sign to double up down the back straightaway. So the 2 courtesy laps now being given to the 5 machine and Lazzari. Still no adjustments on the 5, so not 100% sure what they're doing down there, but
Well, Brendan, the car shut off down here, so they're talking about it quietly, figuring out what they're going to do here. Maybe he's just going to call it a day if the car's not handling the way they want it. But the car's not fired right now, currently on pit road.
the white flag is out, so they're going to run out of time. So either Lazzari's going to have to go now, or he's going to start losing laps on pit road. Field's lined up behind the NTM Bearings pace car. It'll hit pit road this time by Tamir's with the control car on the restart. Tries to lead him off, trying to pick up the pace just a little down into turn number 3. Up the racetrack a little, they enter the restart box off of turn number 4. See if they let that one go. Walters with a slight advantage down the front straightaway. They're pretty even down into 1 and 2. Walters up on the high side of the racetrack now. The red line signs Apparel B&B Towing, 47 machine. Trying to take the top spot away from Garrett Tamirsma. These two got into it in heat race action earlier this afternoon. Here comes Zardo now. Zardo looking to make it 3 wide. Walters able to get away, get clear of Tamirsma. But Tamirsma going to get shuffled back. Here comes Zardo now to the inside. The Besters Forest Products, Leslie Ford Motors, TJM Construction, 36 machine. Up to second now. He'll set his sights on the 47 of Walters at the front of the field. Tamirsma with the bumper gets into the back of Zardo, looking to take second spot back. Everyone, a little bit of push and shove. Here we go again, down into turn number 3. Tamirsma again with the bumper to the back of the 36 of Zardo. Side by side contact down the front straightaway, and Tamirsma hard to the inside retaining wall. Back up the racetrack, everyone able to avoid him. That will draw the caution.
You know, this came up at the APC drivers meeting. Alex Nagy said a piece. It comes down to decisions you make behind the wheel of a race car. And what we just watched were decisions made. We have a look at this replay. I don't think Garrett liked that Lane Zardo made it 3 wide. Got into him the previous corner, got into him there. As Zardo came off the corner, tried to move Garrett down the track. Garrett wasn't having it. At some point, you have to make the choice. Is now the time?
Well, I mean, these two got into it lap 1 of a heat race. So I was down pit side earlier. I talked to Zardo, and he said, well, you know, I'm going to throw that one in the memory bank. Not looking to wreck the guy, but I know when it's time to go and when it's not. And he might have decided that this was the time that when push came to shove, he was going to shove back. So you see Zardo now coming down pit road as well. Tamirsma's team going to work.
Quentin Jeffries down trackside.
Thanks, Brendan. They've got a bevy of problems here. They've got a heavy rub on the right front. They've just pulled that. The body is away from the 17. The nose is shifted quite a bit to the right here. And Tamirsma's going to see what happens here. He sits patiently in the pit area, but it looks all right now. All the other things look good except the body on this car. Tamirsma's going to drive away. We'll make our way down to Zardo and get right back to you.
The concern, Brendan, I'd have if I'm Garrett there in the 17 is the left front. The angle he hit the wall, I'd want to make sure if that left front's still in the right spot, everything else can be bent back to shape.
Well, guys, they're working here on the 36 of Zardo on the left rear. A new left rear going to go in place. They're working on some damage up underneath there. They've got the spacer going back on the hub, and they'll get the tire back on here. Looks like they're going to put the same one back on. No problems with the tire, but pulling on the body here of the Zardo 36.
And we just seen it there on the G-Force replay where Tamirsma made contact with Zardo was right in that left rear wheel. So you have to wonder if it did any damage to the suspension of the rear axle of that 36 machine. And as Clinton mentioned, pulling the body work away, trying to make sure the tire is clear. We can see it here live on G-Force. What they're doing looks like the jack down and away.
Different angle of that situation. So we're looking at off of turn 4, and you can see Zardo, you know, when Zardo's a veteran, so when Garrett got into his left rear corner the way he did, Zardo positioned that 36 car to make life difficult for Garrett down the front straightaway, which is his right to do. You know, they've all got the right to their own piece of racetrack.
And what Brendan said there, as the 17 came up into the 36, it wasn't just a case of the fender rubbing on the tire. It was a solid hit to the left rear. So like you say, we'll have to watch the rear end of that 36 to make sure everything's okay.
You ever been interrupted more in announcing a race night, Brendan?
Just by myself. So usually if I get a thought, I just interrupt myself and off I go. So it's a different experience, but I like it.
The voices are real tonight.
For the first time, I'm happy to hear that.
White flag out going out. So it's one of those I'm sorry, I'm not sorry things. It's a pleasure to work with you. And I'll turn this off for a little while so we can enjoy you.
Oh, it's great to have the input and somebody else to talk to instead of just myself and whatever fans are within earshot of me on the balcony. So we'll just before halfway here, 13 laps complete of this 30-lap feature race. NTM Bearings pace truck hits pit road once again. Walters, now your control car for the restart. Going to have to deal with the People's Champ, Brandon Passer, up on the outside. The TJ Memories 52 machine. Green flag back in the air. Walters down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Passer trying to fire back up on the high side. The Simcoe Barger brake wall 52 machine. Finished second of points here at Sunset in 2019 to the outside of Walters. Walters using up every inch of racetrack he can. Down on the bottom side of the racetrack, trying to take the lane away from Passer. He's got the 48 of Dwayne Baker right behind him, trying to see which lane sorts itself out. Here comes the 71 machine of the upgrade Rick Wall. To the outside of Johnny Morrison, now looking to the outside of Jason Parker as he cracks the top 5 for the first time tonight. The former Autumn Colors Classic champion of the Super Stock Division. Filling in for Corey McAllister here tonight is Rick Wall as he's now up to the 5th spot, looking for more. Out front, though, the 52 of Brandon Passer starting to inch ahead of the 47 of Stompin' Tom Walters. The TJ Memory, Simcoe Barger brake wall, Canadian Car Care 52 machine. Now out in front, Walters gets shuffled back to second. The B&B Towing, Redline, Science Apparel 47 machine runs in second. Passer trying to pull away now at the front of the field. The TJ Memories 52 machine, nice and smooth. Had a great run going on opening night before a left rear tire started going down and caused him to fade late in the going. Looking for some redemption here tonight. Contact deeper in the field. Bentley and Morrison get together off at turn number 2. Tamirsma trying to charge his way through now and take advantage of everyone slowing up to avoid more contact. The Way Freight, line X to Newmarket. First choice Roofing Speedy Auto Machine, 17 machine, trying to carve his way through the field after the incident on the last caution. He'll now look to the inside of Morrison. That's inside the top 10 now with the 17 machine. Out front, Brandon Passer pulling away nice and smooth at the front of the field. Then it's Walters, Baker, Parker, and here comes Gord Shepard now to the inside of Rick Walt. The Elmer's Lighting Supply, InkYourMind.com, number 30 machine. Pulls alongside even of the Struyuk Energy Systems. Caldecott Millwright 71 of the upgrade Rick Walt. Matt Bentley on the move now as he went to the rear as an involved car as part of our first caution of the night. The Bennett Mechanical Thrinco Streamline Race Products 21B machine. Now to the inside of Walt. He'll look to the inside of Shepard down the front straightaway. Brandon Passer. Pass straightaway advantage over the 47 of Walters. Cars on the move right now are the 30 of Gord Shepard and the 21 of Matt Bentley. Bentley with a run off of 4 to the inside of Shepard down the front straightaway. Doesn't have enough to get in there in turns 1, but Shepard overdrives the corner and goes up the hill. That's going to open the door for the Bennett Mechanical 21B machine of Matt Bentley down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Looking to go back to the top 5 after having to go to the rear being an involved car early on as part of our first caution of the night. Great side-by-side racing for the 5th spot. Gord Shepard, first time behind the wheel of a super stock since 2004. Filling in for Todd Davenport here tonight. Back now to the 6th spot. Bentley going to go to work, try to reel in the 8 of Jason Parker. Laps winding down here. Part of the Fast City, on the Fast City Raceway scoreboard, part of the St. Ange Recreation Super Stock feature. Parker now pressuring the 48 of Baker. They run nose to tail. The Mowbray's Canadian Tire, Port Elgin. Virtue Farms number 8 machine looking for room to work on the 8, on the 48 of Dwayne Baker, the GD Coach Used Car Super Store machine. Bentley has now caught that battle. He's now all over the rear bumper of Jason Parker looking for some room to work. Parker looks to the inside of Baker down into turn number 1. Baker slides up the racetrack. Parker gets sideways. We got caution out as the 83 of Morrison has stopped up in turn number 4. The North Country Property Maintenance, Freddie's Damn Good Fries. 83 machine, he'll get that car refired. Looks like all the wheels are up on the 83, so something mechanical must have gone wrong under the hood for the 83 to stop over in turn number 4.
For those of you keeping an eye on whether Trayton Lapsevich is going to make it or not, they have landed. Do you think they're going to get here in plenty of time? The plane landed about 15 minutes ago. They'll make their way down to the racetrack for the start of tonight's Dayco 100.
That's probably the easy part of the journey. The drive back to Quebec tonight is not going to be as fun.
Well, guys, Frank Davey back here in the pits. They've still got the hood off this car. They got the big crescent wrench out on the right side, and they're making some adjustments to that right front as well. They've called for the hood to go back on the car. So the crew now going to get the 49 on here for Frank Davey with a couple to go in this one.
So the Ridge Road Racing team going to work to get the hood back on the Hamley Construction 49 machine. It's one of those things where sometimes now when the cooling system is set up, it's almost better to have the hood on so the air gets fully directed to the radiator that comes in through the nose, through the opening on the nose of the car. So the hood going back on the greensteelroof.ca 49 machine, and they're going to try to get them backed up and back underway here. Looks like a tire pressure adjustment left, so one more courtesy lap being given to the 49 of Frank Davey down on pit road.
The Johnny Morrison crew as well with the left side going in the air on that 83 machine. Clinton Jeffrey down on the scene.
Yeah, they checked the tires, but both appear to be all right. Now they're going to go around and jack up the right side rear, looks like, of this 83 North Country Property Maintenance, Freddie's Damn Good Fries machine. And they'll go to work on the right side. We'll see what's up over here. Almost looks like they're checking to see if the tires are still up on this car. Or possibly a loose tire, Adam. You know, the way they did, obviously they wouldn't be touching the rims like that to try and make sure there's air pressure in the car. I think it was more he felt maybe a loose wheel, so they jacked up both sides, gave each wheel a shake, realized they were all bolted on good, and sent him back to the speedway.
One of those things, contact on the racetrack might have bent the rim and might have started to feel something behind the wheel as we are not going to accept that restart. That was going to get called off. I just seen the big head shake from Jeff Slaughter there, and you got Walters, the wily veteran, but he's not the one setting the pace. It's the 52 of Brandon Passer, so we're going to call that one back and try it again.
Well, Brandon Passer had his arm out the window as they came down the front straight, like, what's going on here? And the officials felt the same way. They'll call it back. But if you're Walters, you know, you're going to try and get away with one. Maybe you get away with it and walk away. That's a veteran move there. No penalty to get called back, but never know, might have worked.
Absolutely, the Walters, the multi-time Sunset Speedway champion, knows these restarts so well. We've seen the gamesmanship over the years from that 47 car in both our limited late model division, now the super stock division. So trying to pull one over on the next generation. He's racing against the Brandon Passer, the Simcoe Bartram Breakwall 52 machine, but he's got to be the first one to fire in the restart box. If he doesn't fire by the time we get to the end of the restart box, then it's fair game, but I think we're all moving a little too early on that one. So we'll rack him and stack him and try it again, and the bearing space truck has the lights extinguished as we get set to fire again. 27 laps now complete. So let's see what they do this time down the back straightaway, nice and even. See what happens when the pace truck drops off here. Walters again starting to inch ahead just a little, trying to lead on Passer just a little bit. The end of the restart box, Passer with a great jump up on the high side of the racetrack. Timed that one perfectly, the Simcoe Bartram Breakwall Canadian Car Care 52 machine. Walters down low trying to hold on to the top spot. Going to slide back though. The 52 of Passer very strong up on the high side of the racetrack. Here comes the TJ Memories 52 machine. 2 laps to go with the line, that time by. Looking to bring it home as the 52 of Passer going to clear Walters this time off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Battle is on for third. Jason Parker up on the high side. Dwayne Baker down on the bottom, all behind Stomp Tom Walters. And we got Garrett Tamiersma around. And that will draw the caution. And the long night continues for Garrett Tamiersma of the Way Freight, Simon & Sons Windows and Doors, Line X, First Choice Roofing, Speedy Auto Machine, 17 machine facing the wrong way.
I think we're going to see when we look at a replay, Rick Spencer Walt's car lurched. It didn't lurch, it just didn't turn. But almost as though something wasn't right on the front end, as he is very slow on the racetrack.
He's picking up the pace down the back straightaway. Looks like he'll hit pit road this time, though, and down to the attention of the crew and see if they can diagnose what's wrong with the Strayak Energy Systems Caldecott Millwright 71 ride.
I had my eyes on that battle. I was interested to see what was going to shake out in that part of the field, so it looked unusual to me.
Ooh.
The way the 71 car slid up the track. A flat right front tire.
So it looked like Schmierson was already right there. A little bit of contact, yeah. And then Paul Pepper with nowhere to go over the right rear of Walt in the 71. Walt down pit road. The team going to work on the right side of that car. 2 courtesy laps now being given. So teams on pit road are on the clock to get back out and get racing.
A 71 car here, they're looking at both the damage on the right rear and the right front, making sure it's all tight and good to go here. It looks like they're going to change it. Now they brought the bolts on and off. They're making sure everything's tight here. Going to send them back out. They do have a lot of damage on the right rear corner, but nothing that's going to keep them from finishing these last couple of laps.
So we'll go back to lap 28. It'll be green-white checkered shootout once we get going here to try to settle this one for the St. Arms Recreation Super Stocks. Passer, who had gotten clear and out front of the 47 of Stomp and Tom Walters, now going to have to try to do it all over again. So white flag is out, light to be extinguished on the NTN Bearings pace truck. It'll hit pit road this time down the back straightaway. See what mind games get played this time on the restart. Walters tried last time, but Passer was very quick on the loud pedal, was able to get the jump up on the outside. Watching down the back straightaway. NTN Bearings pace truck going to make the hard left to pit road. Nice and even into turn number 3, the end of the restart box. Both of them on the loud pedal back, green flag racing. Passer with a slight advantage up on the high side of the racetrack getting into turn number 1. Walters down on the bottom. The Simcoe Barger brake wall 52 machine up on the high side. They'll come to the white flag this time off of turn number 4 to try to settle this one. Walters still there down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Passer unable to get clear so far. Off of 2 down the back straightaway. Passer with the advantage. Walters going to try to drive to the bottom side of the racetrack into turn number 3. Off of 4, checkered flag in the air. Brandon Passer with the win. Walters for second, Baker third, Parker fourth, and Shepard will round out the top 5. Brandon Passer picks up the checkered flag over in turn number 3. Going to salute the beer garden on the way by. The TJ Memory Simcoe Barger brake wall, Canadian Car Care 52 machine. See car chief Ethan Cornier headed down to Victory Lane. Ethan went to Victory Lane a few Sundays ago with the Super Late Models here at Sunset Speedway. So now the team able to part the Super Stock in Victory Lane. As everyone heads down to celebrate, we'll throw things down to Clinton Jeffrey at Victory Lane.
Thanks, Brendan. Brandon Passer brings the 52 car here to Victory Lane at Sunset Speedway. We'll get him out and have a word with them. The crew all in here to offer congratulations. And we'll let him get out, have a quick word with them here. Gets the helmet off, we'll work the safety gear off as well. And then we'll bring him out here to say hello to you fine fans here tonight. Gets it done. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. How about a big Sunset Speedway Victory Lane welcome for your Superstock winner, Brandon Passer. Congrats, Brandon. What a drive here today. You've held off one of the most veteran guys here in Tom Walters, but those last couple restarts really tested your wares today. Talk about the end of that race.
Yeah, I was hoping it was going to go green for the last couple laps there, but I didn't get that lucky, and I'm just thankful that Tommy ran me nice and clean.
Talk about your drive here today. Fairly uneventful. This car was really quick today.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I didn't know if I had anything there in the feature at the beginning, but everyone started wrecking each other, so it gave me a good lane.
Who do you want to thank for your good run tonight?
I got to thank my dad, obviously, for buying me the car, TJ's Memories, Simcoe Barge and Brake Wall, Paul House, Ali Bloom, APC, Alana Schmidt, all the guys that helped me. I can't thank them enough.
Congrats. Brandon Passer gets it done, ladies and gentlemen, and he'll pick up the Super Stock win here tonight at Sunset. Back to you guys in the tower.
All right, mini stock feature still to come before we set the field for the Dayco 100 for the APC Series. We'll be back with more live racing from Sunset Speedway here on GeForce TV.
A guy like this, who relies on his truck for work, knows that his truck will take care of him if he takes care of his truck. And WeatherTech has always been the ultimate protection. From floor liners to no-drill mud flaps to tech liner for your truck bed to bump step to the handy under-seat storage system. And Cup Foam keeps phones secure in any cup holder. Order your ultimate protection today at weathertech.ca.
What makes a trailer a Miska? Is it the heavy-duty Canadian steel they are made from? Or is it the exceptional finish that will last year after year? How about knowing that these are the best back trailers in the industry? These are the reasons you buy Miska. So what makes these trailers a Miska? It's the hard-working Canadians who craft them. We are Miska. We are Canadian tough.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave Chicken Wings. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
Welcome back live to the APC Series on GeForce TV from Sunset Speedway in Innisfil, Ontario. As we've got one feature race in the books for the Super Stocks. Mini Stocks are up next, and then we'll bring to you the Dayco 100 for the APC Series. Brendan, looks like the Mini Stocks are ready to go. Let us know how they line up.
Set to fire the GD Coats Used Car and Superstore Mini Stock Division. Starting on pole, the 45 machine at Bradford is the ARM Technology Origin 1668 Comfy Dodge Neon of Kyle Dan Timo's. Your 7 machine is Dylan Bowman out of Barrie, Ontario. The CSN Collision Center CarQuest Auto Parts Ford Mustang 5 machine out of Holland Landing, Ontario is Peter Wakeling. The Auto Trim Design of Barrie McKelly Motors Carmichael Bin Rentals Ford Mustang 8 machine all the way to North Bay, Ontario. The Juniors Tires R&M Automotive King's Transport Flat Rate Towing and Recovery Ford Mustang is Paul Bogensberger Jr. 83 machine out of Hawkstone, Ontario. The former Sunset Speedway Mini Star Trek champion. The Kawartha Metals Aurelia Metal Fabrication. ORV Auto Daryl Eacock Custom Die Cast Ford Mustang of Cast Iron Cameron McGlashan. 6 machine out of Barrie, Ontario, driving the Acura Integra for Big Rock Landscaping. Best Buy Mobile Mike the Mattress Guy. Science Innovation aboard the Acura Integra. That is Curtis Stewart. 28 machine out of Innisfil, Ontario is Connor Maltese, the Presto Appliance and Repair, Fox's Bakery and Deli, Maple City Tire, Little Squirts, Gordy's Garage, Ontario Steel Sales Ford Mustang, 15 machine, former Sunset Speedway feature winner out of Barrie, the Profile Standing Finishing, Napa, Ideal Supply, Bike Stop, Ant Pro Electrical, Craft Automotive Repair Services, Dodge Neon is Mike Robinson Jr. That car has already been piloted to Victory Lane this year with Charlie Smith behind the wheel, so they found Victory Lane with Charlie Smith, but tonight it is Mike Robinson Jr. behind the wheel of the Neon. 99 machine in North Bay, Ontario. The West Nipissing Collision Ford Mustang is Jeff Richard. 67 machine out of Innisfil. The FX Stone and Paving, Big Brian & Sons Towing. CW Coops of Innisfil, Innis Creek Golf Course. Auto Trim Design of Barrie, Ryan's Landscaping. Northway Tire Limited Ford Mustang is Josh Bullen. 18 machine is Cole Quinton, the Spire Fire Protection Ford Mustang. 76 machine is Sean Taylor, the Flamborough Speedway regular for GM Electric. And BW Haggart Crane Rentals. Kangaroo Trailer Sales also aboard the Nissan 240SX. 73 machine Out of Innisfil, it's Cool Guy Alan Lakin. Your favorite racer's favorite racer aboard the 73 machine, the Timmerman's Timberworks. K-Studio Hair Salon. Highcrest Automotive, WMI Engineering, Ford Mustang. Phone machine is Eric Rainey out of Cookstown, the R Family Farms. Pontiac Sunfire 46 machine is Ryan D'Antimo, the UA Local 46 Dodge Neon. 9 machine is Madison Tenkamp out of Barrie. The Barrie Frame Alignment, Aaron Little Brokers. Midhurst Roofing, Ford Mustang. The 1 machine is Daytona Bob Finnemore, the Mikey Network, Mac Lang of Aurelia. Speedy Auto Machine, Ontario Steel Sales. Tarpon Lumber and Truss. Chevrolet Cobalt 21 machine is Ken Townsend, and rounding out the field, the 24 is Jeff LaFlamme, the mini stock regular here at Sunset Speedway, behind the wheel of a bone stock tonight after blowing up the Honda last Saturday in practice here at Sunset. So LaFlamme still wanted to race here tonight, so he's got the rims all converted over and with the bone stock, and he'll start shotgun on the field. Green flag in the air. And the JD Coach Used Car Superstar Mini Stock Division race off into turn number 1. Down the back straightaway, Kyle D'Antimo with the advantage. Dylan Bowman, the 07 machine, back to second up on the high side of the racetrack. They're 3 wide, deeper in the field. McGlashan, Bullen, and Robinson Jr., everyone looking for real estate, trying to charge through the field as quick as they can. Some of our faster cars as part of the invert. Charging from deeper in the field. Big moment for Bowman, the 07 machine, sideways off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Bogensberger Jr. now up to third. The Ford Mustang, our North Bay, Ontario, the R&M Automotive, Junior's Tire. Mudge Garage, number 8 machine. Curtis Stewart works his way around. Peter Wakeling, going to be 3 wide down the back straightaway. Bullen and Robinson Jr. working their way through the field. They split Wakeling down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Out front, though, the Origin 1668 Coffee Dodge Neon of Kyle D'Antimo. Looking for his first career feature win here in the mini stock division. Side by side now for second. Here comes Curtis Stewart down the bottom side of the racetrack. Bowman up on the outside in the 07 machine. Stewart. And we got contact. Around goes Bogensberger Jr. down the front straightaway. Mike Robinson Jr. involved. The AMP Pro Electrical Craft Automotive Repair Services Dodge Neon. Looks like everyone going for the same amount of real estate. So Bogensberger Jr. just waiting for a clear spot on the racetrack to drive away. Robinson Jr. able to back up. Both these cars should be able to continue on. Just some body damage. So Robinson Jr. and Bogensberger Jr. going to go to the rear of the field. The King Trucking Junior's Tire 8 machine. So Robinson Jr. looks like he'll hit pit road and get the front end of that Dodge Neon looked at. Comes up here on the G-Force replay. Just right there, Robinson Jr. tried to kind of run the middle of the racetrack and make it 3 wide with Bogensberger Jr. and Josh Bullen, and the hole just closed up just like that as the 8 car came up on the 07 of Bowman. He tried to move down the racetrack, and Robinson Jr. was already there, and both drivers going for the same piece of real estate, trying to come through the field. And now they're going to have to do it again, except this time from further back, as both will have to restart at the rear of the field. So we got Clinton Jeffrey on scene at the 15 machine of Mike Robinson Jr.
Yeah, they're changing to right front here. Now they're directing the crew to get under the hood and see what's up. Not sure why they're doing that, but we'll watch them work here on the right front as well. Looks like this should just be a simple tire change. Right, you can see a nice big hole right here in the tire. And they'll get that one fixed and get ready to go back out.
Robinson Jr., the former feature winner here at Sunset Speedway. That car been piloted by Charlie Smoot, who's down there doing some of the repair work for the most part of the season and sharing driving duties this year.
Well, they're looking at the front end toe on the car, asking is it still straight. They told me, yeah, fairly good. They're going to send him back out here. They'll talk in the window a bit, give him a bit of instructions, let him know the situation, and send him back on his way. 15 coming back to you, Brendan.
So there we go. Robinson Jr. having a tag tail of the field now. And it looks like lineup just working on where everyone needs to be before we double them back up and get set back for green flag racing. Looks like just getting Josh Bullen where he needs to be ahead of the 99 and Jeff Richard. And hopefully that is the last we need. It's like maybe a few more cars need to move, but D'Antimo doing a great job so far. The 45 machine has had his struggles this year. The Origin 1668 Coffee ARM Technology ride. Holding strong at the front of the field in that Dodge Neon. Bowman going to get gifted there. He'll slide back to second with the contact after losing a few spots in that 07 machine, the CSN Collision Center Clark West Auto Parts ride. Curtis Stewart, the 6th machine, he's up to third after issues last week. He ended up borrowing a bone stock just to get some points last week and be able to make repairs on that Acura Integra. Had something on the right front suspension brake in practice last Saturday, so the team's gone to work to get that car repaired this week, and right now runs in the 3rd spot. 4th would be Josh Bullen, and as we mentioned earlier, Bullen has been everywhere at the end of the feature, but on the top spot. He's been 2nd, he's been 3rd. He's been the strongest car without a feature win this year, and he's looking to change that here tonight. The FX Stone and Paving Auto Trim Design of Barrie 67 machine. So white flag is out. Field's given the sign to double back up. We'll go back green flag racing this time by. NTM Bearings pace truck going to make the hard left to pit road this time down the back straightaway. Pair of rookies on the front row, D'Antimo and Bowman. Looking to fire off once they get into turn number 4 and in the restart box. Nice even restart off of 4. Green flag back in the air. Bullen already going to work, giving a shove to the 07 machine. And up the hill goes the 07 of Bowman, and here comes the 67 of Bullen, going to the top spot, down the back straightaway, around the 45 with D'Antimo. D'Antimo now has issues. He's got the 6 of Curtis Stewart to his inside. Contact with the 07 of Bowman. They're going to be 3 wide as Bowman shuffled up out of the groove. Everyone going 2 wide underneath them, down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Everyone able to keep it going straight. Great job here by the GD Coast Used Car Superstar Mini Stock Division. Still 3 wide, deeper in the field. McGlash and Cole Quinton working their way through past the 07 of Dylan Bowman. Here comes Sean Taylor down on the bottom. The Kangaroo Trailer Sales 76 machine goes to the 3rd spot, able to go by D'Antimo and Richard. Down on the bottom side, made it 3 wide, down the back straightaway, going to come away with the 3rd spot. Alan Lankin on the move now. The 73 machine has cracked the top 10. Timmerman's Timberworks 73 machine working the high side of the racetrack. The BMI Engineering 73 machine coming through the field. He's had some issues so far this year. That Ford Mustang able to get him sorted out, having a solid run here tonight. A little bit of contact with the 45 with D'Antimo, that time through 1 and 2 deeper in the field. Lankin now looking to go up to the 3rd groove of the racetrack. Contemplating making it 3 wide through 3 and 4. That's the battle on the racetrack at the moment. As your leader, Josh Bullen, has checked out over 2nd place Curtis Stewart. 3rd is still 76 machine. You see there, you see the contact between Lankin and D'Antimo. D'Antimo up out of the racing group. Lankin now on the move. Now all over the rear bumper, the 83 of Cameron McGlashan. The K-Studio Hair Salon, Redline Science Apparel 73 machine, has come to life here in the features after struggling through the heat races this afternoon. Running outside the top 5 at the moment, but making some moves coming through the field. Josh Bullen so strong out in front though. 3/4 of a straightaway advantage over Curtis Stewart, who's now going to find himself under pressure from the 76 of Sean Taylor. Taylor trying to take over the 2nd spot now. Taylor with a run off of 4. The VW Haggard Crane Rentals. Nissan 240SX down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Side by side with Curtis Stewart off of 2 and down the back straightaway. The Big Rock Landscaping 6th machine of Stewart starting to slide back just a little down up on the high side. Taylor going to slide up to 2nd now off of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Cole Quinton now going to try to follow him through. He's caught the 6th of Stewart. That's now a battle for the 3rd spot on the racetrack. Great battle on G-Force at the moment. Alan Lankin looking to the inside of Cameron McGlashan. Bullen out in front, so he'll put the cars a lap down. Lankin now with a run to the inside of Cameron McGlashan down the front straightaway. A pair of Mustangs side by side. That is a battle for the 7th spot on the racetrack. Lankin making about his 6th start behind the wheel of a mini stock. McGlashan, a former Mighty Mini champion here at Sunset Speedway and a mini stock track champion behind the wheel of a Mustang. The Kawartha Metal Products. Daryl Eacock, Customs Diecast, 83 machine up on the high side of the racetrack, trying to hold off the 73 of Alan Lankin. Lankin goes to the bottom side through 3 and 4. He'll clear McGlashan down the front straightaway. The Timberman Timberworks 73 machine. Now up to the 7th spot. See if he can pull away from the 83 and try to reel in the 46 of Ryan D'Antimo. The UA Local 46 Dodge Neon, who is ahead of them. Laps winding down here in this GD Coach Used Car Superstore Mini Stock Division, and around goes the 73 Lankin. McGlashan got to him off of turn number 4. Might not like quite the way Lankin was racing him. And around goes the 73 machine. Cool guy Alan Lankin able to refire the 73. Looking for a spot in the traffic to get that 73 car spun back around. No one made contact with 73, so able to keep going. He'll have to charge through the field again, but this time with a lot less laps to do so. We see it here on the G-Force replay. Lincoln got a little high and opened the door for McGlashan, and when he came down, the 83 was already there, so Lincoln just missed the entry to turn number 3, and really that started the troubles between him and the 83 of McGlashan as the 73 goes around. Great heads-up driving by Maltese Robinson Jr. to avoid the spinning 73 of Lincoln. He's now down pit road, going to come to the attention of the crew and just make sure everything, I guess, is straight on the 73.
Yeah, Brendan Crew just doing a cursory look at the sheet metal here around, making sure no tire rubs. Everything looks all right. And Larkin will head back to the Speedway surface without issues here on the 73. Alan Lankin.
It's totally appreciated because we as friends call him Larkin. So it's the greatest thing in the world when other people do it.
At least if I'm going to mess up, I messed up to his nickname, right?
I absolutely, it's beautiful. So Lankin down pit road going to take on tail of the field. And laps winding down. Josh Bull in that giant lead now a race. He's going to have to deal with the 76 of Sean Taylor. The BW Hanger Crane Rentals, Kangaroo Trailer Sales, 76 machine. First time to Sunset Speedway in a while for Taylor behind the wheel of that Nissan 240 SX. He's had some strong runs here as part of the Velocity 250 to close out the season, but the Flamborough Speedway regular making the haul up the 400 here tonight to join us at Sunset Speedway and making the most of it. He's going to have a shot to the outside, I believe, of Bolin here on the restart. The Ryan's Landscaping Northway Tire Limited 67 machine will have lane choice on the restart when we go double them back up, which we will do down the back straight. Bolin will choose the inside for the restart. Taylor going to pull alongside. Going to be Quinton in the 18 in row number 2. Curtis Stewart to his outside. And looks like a little bit of contact there between Jeff Richard and Ryan D'Antimo. The Mustang and the Neon getting together to 3 and 4. They sorted out. White flag is out. Lights are extinguished on the NTM Bearings pace truck. We get set to fire once again here with the GD Coach Used Car Superstore Mini Stock Division. Pace truck going to hit pit road this time down the back straightaway. Pulling the first car to fire when they enter the restart box over in turn 3 and 4. Back to loud pedal off of 4 with the Mini Stock Division. Pulling with a slight advantage down the bottom side of the racetrack, able to clear Taylor into turn number 1. Taylor going to slide in line behind him down the back straightaway. Here comes Quinton in the 18 machine. Taylor goes to the bottom, take the lane away. Curtis Stewart, the Acura Integra, up on the high side of the racetrack, looking to the outside of Taylor. That one got dicey off of turn number 4. And that's going to open the door for the 18 of Quinton down on the bottom. Here comes this fire protection 18 machine. We got them stacked up down the front straightaway. Daytona Bob Finnemore into the inside retaining wall. Ryan D'Antimo, the UA Local 46 machine with heavy damage. Ken Townsend got a piece of that on his way through. And we will definitely need the assistance of B&B Towing down on the front straightaway. Clinton Jeffrey headed over to the scene to check on the damage of the one machine at Daytona Bob Finnemore and the 46 of Ryan D'Antimo.
Well, both drivers appear to be okay, Brendan. All kinds of carnage and parts down here in turn number 1. And we'll work them out. Rear end is askew here in the 46. So that car was definitely done for the night. We'll wait and see what happens with the other machine here. As we'll walk over and check that, you can see the rear end totally askew here in the 46. And we'll move over here and check out the other car. Also, Rad coming out of the 46. That's going to take some work as well to get that one cleaned up. And heavy damage here, car number 1. The right front all tore up, upper control arm bent down, and big problems here for this machine as well.
See Daytona Bob Fenimore climbing up out of the car. Jeff LaFlamme there to assist him. One of our oldest racers here at Sunset Speedway is Daytona Bob.
He's all right, out of the car, still smiling as he'll work his way over. Bobby, what happened over here? See, you're walking a little gingerly. Are you okay?
I'm okay. The car is okay. Just a couple of cars sideways in front of me, and I thought I could miss them, but that doesn't always happen, but we'll live to race another day.
Well, you're smiling. Your car is not okay, but it's mostly okay, but not enough to finish this race.
I think about the worst I got is a broken CV joint. Everything else looked good. The motor was still running strong, so we'll have her fixed up Monday morning.
All right, there you have it. Daytona Bob gets it done. Tow truck moving in here, and we'll give you a look. He's got a CV joint and upper control arm gone here in this number 1 car, and the right front is leaned right over, and that'll be the problem here for Daytona Bob. We'll get back over here and check out the 46.
You know, I've had plenty of conversations with Daytona Bob Fenimore. Never knew that was his name. But lots of pleasant conversations. Let's take a quick break on G-Force TV. We'll be back with the conclusion of the mini stock event.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave Chicken Wings. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Quick perfected fire. Quick Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
Welcome back live to the APC series on G-Force TV, live from Sunset Speedway. What a beautiful drone shot we're seeing right now on the screen, and a beautiful sunset off in the horizon. Adam, look at all those cars and all those fans here tonight. A couple of weeks in a row where we've it's felt normal again.
It really has. Beautiful to see. Great night. We've said it repeatedly tonight. Great night for racing. Great to see the people out here. We're about to be treated to 100 exciting laps of Pro Late Model action.
Yeah, just 9 laps to go here for the mini stocks.
They've
thrown the checkered. Sorry. So Clinton Jeffrey, Brendan Doherty will be down trackside. Sorry, I'm tucked back here in the corner and was kind of out of the loop there, but
stay in your corner for goodness sake.
You sound like my wife.
Who told you to come out of there?
All right, let's send it down trackside with Clinton Jeffrey and Brendan Doherty.
All right, he's got the safety gear off. He's ready to get out of the car. How about a big Sunset Speedway victory lane welcome for your mini stock winner tonight, Josh Bullitt. Come on over here, Josh. Congratulations. They shortened this race a little bit with some carnage out there, but you're still the victor. That's got to make you feel good here at Sunset tonight.
Oh, yeah, it feels awesome. I can't thank my dad enough, my mom. This was all for my sister right here.
Obviously an emotional win for you on such a big crowd today. Must mean a lot to you guys.
Oh, yeah, it means a lot. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all my sponsors, Innisfil Creek, CW Coops, Apex Aggregates, NGK, Ryan's Landscaping, Big Brian and Sons Towing, FX Stone and Paving, and Sunset Speedway and all the staff.
Congratulations, you hit them all. Josh Bullen gets it done here. How about it, folks? He wins the feature tonight.
Another presentation about to be made down there at the start-finish line, Clint. So Brendan Doherty is on the scene. We see Paul Mayo heading down there from NTN Bearings. We're not entirely up to speed on what the presentation is, just that there's about to be one.
I think we'll do this here momentarily. Dave Frank's getting all the photos in. as we get ready for the running of the Dayco 100, round number 3 for the APC Series here on GeForce TV. Don't forget, next Saturday night, live on GeForce, we'll be at Sunset Speedway for a pair of 75-lap main events to make up the rained-out race from July the 31st. Obviously, you want to be here Saturday night, Sunset Speedway, for the home track regulars. But the next day, if you're here watching racing live at Sunset, then you can log on to YouTube to GeForceTV.net and watch all the action from Sunset Speedway if you're not able to make it there. All right, let's send it down trackside to Brendan.
We're picking up the car sitting at the start-finish line. Okay, yeah, I started mine. It's on mine too? Yeah, it's hitting on both computers.
All right, so we got a presentation to do down here on the front straightaway. NTM Bearings that came on board with Sunset Speedway. Now, each and every week, we present a Sportsman Award on behalf of NTM Bearings, the Melissa Bullen Most Sportsmanlike Award. Each and every week, Phil Bullen, Melissa's father, selects a driver from Sunset Speedway who he feels most sportsmanlike. Tonight, we chose the Mini Sod division, and it is Kyle D'Antimo out of Bradford, the Arm Technology Origin 6068 coffee ride. We got Paul down here from NTM Bearings. We got a $100 Visa gift card for D'Antimo. Kyle, come on over here. Paul Meehl from NTN's. Phil Bullen going to make the presentation. Hold. And we'll grab a quick word with Kyle. Kyle, congrats, man.
Thank you.
Obviously, you're fairly new to the mini stock game, but your family, a long history here at Sunset Speedway.
Yes.
What's it mean to you to be able to claim one of these Melissa Bullen Memorial Sportsman Awards?
It means a lot to me. It makes me pretty proud. My family's proud of me. I couldn't do it without them. Couldn't do it without the sponsors. And it's always fun racing here at Sunset.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Your most sportsmanlike driver here tonight, Kyle D'Antimo. Thank you to NTM Bearings and the Bullen family for their support of Sunset Speedway.
All right, thank you very much, Brendan. We'll take a quick break, and the cars of the APC Series will line up and get ready for driver introductions for the Dayco 100, round number 3 of the 2021 season for the TV.
A guy like this, who relies on his truck for work, knows that his truck will take care of him, that he takes care of his truck. And WeatherTech has always been the ultimate protection. From floor liners, to no-drill mud flaps, to tech liner for your truck bed, to bump step, to the handy under-seat storage system. And Cup Phone keeps phones secure in any cup holder. Order your ultimate protection today at WeatherTech.ca.
What makes a trailer a Miska? Is it the heavy-duty Canadian steel they are made from? Or is it the exceptional finish that will last year after year? How about knowing that these are the best backed trailers in the industry? These are the reasons you buy Miska. So what makes these trailers a Miska? It's the hard-working Canadians who craft them. We are Miska. We are Canadian tough.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Quick perfected fire. Quick Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave Chicken Wings. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
Back live at Sunset Speedway in Innisfil, Ontario for the APC Series on GeForce TV. Sunset Speedway, the sun is setting, and we are getting ready for the running of the Dayco 100, round number 3 of the 2021 season for the APC Late Model Series. Cars will be heading out onto the racetrack to line up for driver intros. Just some festivities taking place down trackside at the moment. As I mentioned, next Saturday night will be at the beach, Sauble Speedway, for a pair of 75-lap events at Sauble. And that will be on Saturday, August the 21st. So not what you're seeing on the screen there right now, but on August the 21st will be at Sunset Speedway for a pair of 75-lap main events, and that's from the July 31st event. We were rained out, and I was actually about 2 hours south of the track in that day, sunny and beautiful in Grand Bend, Ontario, but the ride up 21, it was pouring rain hard early on in the morning and into the afternoon, and washed out that Saturday night event at Sauble. So looking forward to making the trip up there next Saturday night for a pair of 75-lap main events, rounds 4 and 5 for the APC Series next week. Then we'll have a weekend off, and there you see the info for next Saturday, August the 21st for the APC Series. And we'll have a weekend off before we head into Labor Day weekend, where it's round number 6 of the APC Series at Flamborough Speedway on Saturday. And then Sunday we'll head to the North Shores of Brighton, North Shores of Lake Ontario to Brighton, Ontario, the Brighton Speedway for take number 3, and trying to get a race in there this year with the Knights of Thunder and the Action Sprinter are both in action. That's Labor Day Classic weekend. Both divisions will run there on the Saturday night, but we'll be there with the full broadcast on the Sunday evening right here on GeForce TV. So that's a look at the next few weeks taking us into Labor Day.
They continue to work down in turn number 1, cleaning up some of the fluid that came out of that mini stock. The next thing we're going to see on the racetrack, these APC Series late models rolling out into position. And then it'll be time to give you the starting lineup and what should be a fantastic show. I mentioned it earlier on, Greg, but I do try to attend the drivers' meetings when I can. And I found this afternoon's to be a good one. Daryl Timmerman, Trevor Hambley.
Alex is backing up as you say that.
Alex Nagy. and it was an inspirational speech, but the funny thing was, Alex introduced himself as coming. Everyone knows Alex, but as coming in, just have his eyes from a different perspective. And with him standing next to Daryl Timmerman, who stands about 4 feet higher than Alex does, I thought that really is a different perspective than Daryl looks at things from. But it was well done. We talked about it earlier, and I think sometimes as drivers you do need to hear that. You need to hear, hey, you guys are really, really good. Make sure you approach things that way. You approach things with a level of pride and a level of duty to put on a show, because they can. We've seen such amazing races, and I think we're going to see that tonight with this 100-lapper.
You know, as a race fan, I look back at the Flamborough race, and there was a lot of chatter the week after. As a race fan, I like that kind of race because it's different. It's memorable. We're still talking about it, and you know, it might not have been great. Well, it was great for the car builders and everything to repair these cars, but even as a race fan, it was entertaining to me.
Even Mike McCall said, Adam, we don't want that. We're too busy. And that was the challenge. You want that chatter. You want conversation. The challenge is people were talking about, the APC Series, Flamborough Speedway. Well, the Speedway nor the Series drove any of those race cars.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
They didn't wreck anybody. So sometimes clarity is important. Sometimes a reality check is important. But I'll tell you, talking about reality check, you're going to watch these cars roll onto the racetrack. I'm not big on statistics. I never have been. But I don't remember Brandon Watson missing the invert very much in qualifying throughout his racing career. And he's starting way back in the field.
Well, and there's exactly what you were talking about earlier, watching the hot shoes work their way through the field. And we know Brandon's so good here, too. Clinton?
Well, guys, I got Dale Shaw here. Dale, a pretty solid lap for you in qualifying today. What do you have to do to turn that into a good finish here tonight at Sunset?
Just got to be there at the end and keep the rear tires on. That's what this place is all about. And generally speaking, this place puts on good racing, which is, good for us. So just got to be there at the end.
How do you feel being here at Sunset?
Love this place. There's certain racetracks I walk in and I can't smile when I walk in the gate. This place, I love it. I'm here every Saturday night working on cars, and hopefully all that hard work paid off.
Now you got to ride it for a bit. At what lap do we go if you're good?
See, you don't really ride. You kind of just find a pace where you're not using your tires. Your goal is to keep the tires under you but not give up as many spots as you can, because it's hard to pass at the end of the race. So it's just about finding a happy medium about going and staying at the same time.
Good luck tonight, Dale.
Thanks, boys. I appreciate it.
He's calm and cool, guys. Dale Shaw getting ready to go. They're going to roll them out here to the front straightaway shortly, and Dale Shaw will be one of the guys we'll watch here tonight.
He comes into tonight 7th place in the standings. He's 23 points out of first. Now, the top 6 right now are all 20 points out of the top, and that plays to what you were talking about earlier, Adam, where Brandon Watson's the only driver in the first 2 races that has top 5s in both races. So he has an 11-point lead coming into tonight. Pete Shepard second, Trayton Lapsovich third. He's 12 points back. Andrew Gressel right now fourth. J.R. Fitzpatrick and Joe Lawrence tied for 5th, 20 markers back. It's not only been a lot of equal racing with a lot of different finishes for different drivers. It's really kept the standings super tight, especially from second on back. Obviously, Brandon's got that 11-point lead, but it's a jumbled mess of very high-quality drivers there in that top 10.
Well, guys, we jump in on Trayton Lapsovich. He's having a busy day getting ready to go. Trayton, I hope we're not disturbing here. You don't have to get out if you want, but how's the flight in, man?
It was pretty good. It was really smooth, smooth landing, and now we're here. Tons of time to spare.
Top 10 qualifying today at GP3R. That's got to be pretty good for you when you go back tomorrow, but how do you feel about your chances here tonight?
I feel pretty good. I saw Lane put it top of the boards in practice, so car's good, I hear, so we'll see what I can do. I'm just going to save the tires, save the car, and we'll see if we can end up front at the end.
When was the first time you got into a car this morning? 8 o'clock this morning, early?
11:50 sharp.
Not bad. Good luck, Trayton. He's back here from Quebec. They flew him in, especially on a private plane here tonight, and they'll work on getting him back. A long drive back to Quebec tonight to race with the NASCAR Pinty Series at GP3R tomorrow, guys.
The things that racers do. But this is a weekend he'll remember for a long time. I'm sure of that. And Sherry Lapsovich has to be happy because her big point of concern was the flight from Trois-Rivières. So he made it safe and sound. Now all he's got to do is drive a race car a couple of times.
I don't know. I was more concerned for you with Connor driving you here.
Nah, he's all right.
I won't pick on him.
You just got to lean back, let him do his thing. I made sure, see, on my GPS, I can choose a route with no concrete walls. And
No,
it's fine.
There's no turn 3.
I just wanted lots of runoff room. Poor kid. That poor kid gets picked on more than anybody
It's
I
your
know.
fault.
It is
because we want to pick on you, and he gets the heat.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So cars lining up on the front stretch here at Sunset Speedway as we get closer to the start of the Dayco 100. Greg Kellman, Adam Ross up here in the tower. I want to thank Brendan Doherty for helping us out here tonight with all the call of the super stock and mini stock action. Excellent job here. And Clinton Jeffrey, as always, down in the infield, grabbing all the stories.
We got another one here, J.R. Fitzpatrick polishing his own window. J.R., I'd like you to have crew for that, but you got to make sure it's clean yourself. It seems like an eternity since the Flamborough race, and a lot of posts went on social. You've got it back together. How do you feel tonight, JR? Can you finally get this 84 where it deserves to be?
I hope so. I mean, this car is the one that we built just for the Nationals, and we took everything off it for that new car we built there last year. So we had to do some mix mash of parts here to get this car back out, and it's actually surprisingly really good tonight. So I got to thank Dwayne Baker because he was a huge help to me trying to get me around this place, and we'll see. I just want to survive and get through here with all the fenders on it so I can actually enjoy my week.
Let's talk about the cool temperatures. So how is that going to affect? Maybe let the fans know. Is that going to change the game plan over what should be normally a hot August night here?
Oh, yeah. It's been very hot, especially this afternoon when we were practicing. So the cars are going to be probably a little quick at the beginning, probably a little tighter for a lot of us, but hey, the racing is going to be close. Everybody in the top 20, I think, was only 2/10 apart, so it's going to be a real exciting race, and looking forward to a good, clean one.
Good luck, Jared. Hopefully you're talking to us for the right reasons tonight.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
Jared Fitzpatrick there getting ready to go. We'll move down the grid a bit here. A guy who's had some recent laps here, Pete Shepard. You know, Pete, you were here in the NASCAR Pinty's race. Arguably one of the fastest cars here, but couldn't put the finishing touch on it. No luck of your own, but, how do you feel? You've got to feel good about your chances here tonight at Sunset.
Yeah, no, we unload all the time. We feel really good. I can't thank everybody at APC, Automotive Auto Parts Centers, and Canusa. They're all here tonight in hospitality, so hopefully they have a good time. We're here for the Dayco 100, and what better time than now than to get our first win.
How do you feel here at Sunset? You know, it's a place you're comfortable?
Yeah, it is now. I mean, it was a place that took a while to grasp. I heard some guys talking in the other races about how it looks like a high-banked racetrack that's really easy to get around, but it's very technical, and you got to kind of float the car, and every time I'm out here I learn a little bit more, and hopefully it's enough now.
Good luck, Pete.
Thanks a lot, Clinton.
Pete Shepard III going to try and get it done tonight. Gentlemen, we'll turn it up to you for a couple more minutes.
You know, if there's an award at Flamborough Speedway for I can't believe he finished there, it went to Pete Shepard because he looked down and out early on in that one. The car was all beat up, and by the time that race was over, it looked like a Martinsville car, kind of what you would expect from there. But, man, he wheeled that car up to I think it was in the second spot. He was on the podium at the finish.
It was an amazing race to watch, really, because it was one. Do you lay over and take it easy and find no success, or do you pull your sleeves up and get into the rumble like everybody else was? And, I mean, I'm not saying that to one particular driver. They were all elbows up racing.
So the last few cars making their way out onto the front straightaway as we see Trayton Lapsovich, the last to fire from the infield and roll his car around here to the starting grid for the Dayco 100 here tonight for the APC Series on GeForce TV.
Greg, I got Joe Lawrence here. Joe, you were the most dominant car last season. Haven't had the luck this year. What do you do tonight to change that, man?
I feel like we've just been trying to get our team dynamics back together. We're missing a couple people this year that it affects it. It's a whole program, so the work in the shop is important. The guys here do a great job. I think we're starting to get back into the swing of it, so hopefully we can bring that speed we had last year here today.
Is Sunset a place you feel you can get it done?
I believe so. I've always loved this track since the first day I've been here. It's just so unique and a fun track to drive, good 2 lanes, and anything can happen in 100 laps, so we'll see what happens here.
All right, there's Joe Lawrence, defending series champion, going to try and change the luck tonight, guys. We'll send it up to you as we get ready for pre-race ceremonies.
Yeah, Joe Lawrence said it right there. This is a team sport, no matter how much you think maybe it's not, and it's all about the driver. The drivers play a big role in this, but the teams play just as an important role, and Joe just mentioned that there, and that says it all, Adam.
Does so, and race fans, it is time to go racing. Let's meet the starting lineup for the Dayco 100. Starting 25th. From Grimsby, the RGC Sports Ace Services Toyota number 32, Trayton Lapsovich. On the outside of row number 12, from Acton, the Any Bins Waste Services BP Coatings and Paving Chevrolet number 64, Brandon McFerrin. Starting 23rd from Innisfil, the NTN Bearing Chevrolet number 48, Colton Heveringham. Starting 22nd from Arona, the Mobile One B&W Enterprises Chevrolet number 54, Danny Benedict. On the inside of row 11, from Sault Ste. Marie, driving the Wardlaw Heating and Cooling, Northern Fencing number 61 Chevrolet, Dustin Jackson. Starting 20th, from Fraserville, Ontario, the Custom Forming Walls, Bonsma Brother Concrete Pumping Chevrolet number 79, James Horner. Starting 19th, from Southampton, The Tom Gibbons Concrete Finishing Graham Family Auto Car Quest Chevrolet number 10, Tom Gibbons. Starting 18th from Hamilton, the SSG Gloves Inside Track Motorsport News Holdaway Motorsports number 4, Connor James. Starting 17th from Dorchester, the North Country Property Maintenance APC Auto Parts Centers Ford number 3, Shay Gemmel. Starting 16th from Stainer, the Zancor Homes GD Coates Used Car Superstore number 48B Ford, Dwayne Baker. Starting 15th from Hillsdale, the Hillsdale Service Center Recycle Canada Northern Equipment Ford number 39, Travis Halliburton. Starting 14th from Stainer, the Great Lakes Concrete Berry Frame and Alignment Shear Metal Products Ford number 9, Brandon Watson. Starting 13th from Guelph, the Maker's Pizza Retail Design Group 97D Chevrolet, Tyler DiVincenzo. Starting 12th from Drumbo, the London Recreational Racing Chevrolet number 89C, Sean Chenoweth. Starting 11th from Chesley, the Canadian Flat Roof Systems APC Auto Parts Centers Toyota number 17, Josh Stoddy. Now, race fans, your top 10. Starting 10th from Port Elgin, the Great Lakes Concrete Chevrolet number 24, Nick Getz. Starting 9th from Hillsburg, the Glen Windram Trucking Cooper Equipment Reynolds Chevrolet number 8, Jordan House. Starting 8th from London, the APC Auto Parts Centers Total Lubricant Chevrolet number 22, Pete Shepard III. Starting 7th from Allenford, the Sauble Falls Tent and Trailer Park Stewart's Equipment Ford number 81, Andrew Gressel. Starting 6th from Cambridge, the Cambridge Rigging Transaxle Chevrolet number 84, J.R. Fitzpatrick. Starting 5th from London, the Pennzoil APC Auto Parts Center Chevrolet number 78, Joe Lawrence. Starting 4th from Guelph, the Wellington Systems Hose Tech Chevrolet number 83, Dale Shaw. Starting 3rd from Mount Bridges, the Pride Seeds Vibrant Farms Ford number 52, Jake Sheridan. And now your front row. Starting 2nd from Norwood, the SMG Motorsports J-Bex Construction Chevrolet number 29, Ryan Kimball. And your pole sitter from Sault Ste. Marie, the Sims Countertops Ford number 47, Jordan Sims.
I got Jordan here, Adam. Jordan, we watched you lead from this spot at Flamborough. Can you get it done here tonight at Sunset?
I hope so. I think we got a pretty good car. We worked on a lot in practice and got to a spot where we're pretty happy with it. And hopefully we can lead some laps and kind of cruise here and save our tires till the end.
Good luck, Jordan. Back to you guys.
Race fans watching on the stream, we're going to take a quick break. And when we get back, it's time to go APC Racing here on GeForce TV.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave sausages and street dogs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave sausages and street dogs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
What makes a trailer a Miska? Is it the heavy-duty Canadian steel they are made from? Or is it the exceptional finish that will last year after year? How about knowing that these are the best back trailers in the industry? These are the reasons you buy Miska. So what makes these trailers a Miska? It's the hard-working Canadians who craft them. We are Miska. We are Canadian tough.
Back live for the APC Series on GeForce TV from Sunset Speedway in Innisfil, Ontario. Greg Killen, Adam Ross, Clinton Jeffrey bringing you all the live action for the Dayco 100. Drivers getting strapped into the race cars. And Adam, it's been a busy day of practicing, qualifying, and now it's race time. We've talked about all the stories, and now it's time to see them all play out, see who comes home the winner of round number 3, and see if Brandon Watson can be knocked off the top of the podium. So far, 2 races, 2 wins for that car number 9.
Great to see that Dayco brought a bunch of people here to the races, Greg. It's always more fun when they get involved. That's Bob Rosen up in the flag stand being briefed by Sean Gibbs. When we say throw the green flag, we don't mean throw the green flag. Keep it firmly in your hand.
I've seen flagmen throw the green flag literally, so it's not an easy thing. You'd think it's simple, but it can happen.
I was at the Warren Conian was inducted, this is years ago, to the Oswego Speedway. I forget what they call it. It's a Hall of Fame, basically, but I can't remember what term they use for it. And he recalled one of his first times in a race car where they actually literally eventually did throw the black flag at him because he didn't know enough to come off the racetrack. So, Clinton, we're still a few minutes away from getting things underway. What's going on down there on the front straightaway?
Well, obviously, Adam, it's we're racing with heavy hearts today. We've lost a couple of the racing family here in the province, and with the AC family alone. Gord Box passed away recently, so we send our thoughts out to the Box family. And, of course, we are showing right here on Tyler DiVincenzo's car, a lot of these drivers are running a Rob Morton sticker from Inside Track. Everybody here in the media world in Ontario and Canada are feeling the pain as we've lost a great ambassador of the sport here, as we lost Rob Morton and from the Inside Track family. So our hearts go out to the Mortons and the Boxes here tonight, guys, as we get ready to get happy once again. We're thinking of them tonight.
Yeah, and Rob Morton was a core part of the group that started Inside Track Motorsport News. Back in the day, they all worked for Performance Racing News, Greg, and they split out and started their own venture, and it was a huge risk and a huge undertaking, and what a ride it's been.
Yeah, I reached out to Greg McPherson and David Weber at Inside Track just to offer my condolences. I, along with many of us, have worked at Inside Track over the years, and just David said it best. He said Rob was 1 in a million, and that's exactly what he was. That picture says everything you need to know about Rob. Always that smile on his face, and we're going to miss him a lot.
And Gord Box, of course, father of Matt Box. And part of the advisory council that APC put together going back 7 years, and it wasn't a big group, but it was people that got together whose opinions they wanted to help shape the way the series was going to go and how it was going to operate, and he was a part of that. So our thoughts are with Matt Box and the rest of the Box family. And we do have drivers here tonight, and I'll have to brush up on who's racing for whose points, because I know Travis Halliburton is collecting points for somebody tonight, and so is someone else. One for Matt Pritico, I believe, and one for Matt Box, which is within the APC rules. So we wait for word from the APC officials that they're ready to get things lit up. Man, they look good.
Final adjustments getting ready in the car, all that safety equipment that we saw put to work in the last event. And these drivers being called over the radio saying, give the thumbs up. Are we ready to go?
Do you remember ASA racing?
Yep.
When it would come to Cayuga, the way they lined the cars up, all parked diagonally on the front straightaway. And at this point, I think once the crew chief put their arm down, they were ready to go. I can't remember if it was up or down, but it would be a whole row of race cars, one person standing at the door giving the signal that they were ready to go. And to me, it was just the coolest sight there was, because it meant we were about to see people who, in my mind, already were legends of motorsports, but number of people who became legends of motorsports through their careers do battle.
Great looking field of cars here tonight as we see the shot down the front stretch. Great crowd here on hand tonight. And if this is your first race back of 2021 or since 2019, welcome back to the racetrack. I'm sure there's folks here tonight that they haven't been out since 2019. We welcome you back, and we hope that tonight sends you home with a smile on your face.
And before we get too far into the program, Brendan, where are people allowed to smoke here at Sunset Speedway? Because we've had some questions from fans, and I don't want to tell people they can't smoke in the grandstands, but I don't think they can.
So smoking is actually allowed in the grandstands. We do actually, to be courteous of your neighbor, we do have a non-smoking grandstand, which is the small grandstand at the end of the main straightaway into turn number 4.
There you go. I'm glad I asked. Well, Clinton Jeffrey, it is time to go racing. We're going to send it trackside for the most famous words in motorsports and our man on the scene, Clinton Jeffrey.
What about all you fans? Are you ready to see some racing? Let's hear you make some noise if you're live with us at Sunset Speedway tonight. Are you guys ready? How about a hand for our awesome supporters here from Dayco? You guys got to crowd in real tight, and on the count of 3, you're going to give us those famous words, which are drivers, start your engines. Are you guys ready? Fans, are you ready? All right, let's hear from the Dayco folks. 3, 2, 1, nice and loud.
Drivers, start your engine.
All right, great job. We are ready to go, and they'll fire up down here.
Greg, isn't that always the way with group projects? One person always pulls the weight. It doesn't matter. The engines are fired, and we're happy to hear them. The folks from Dayco are going to head back to the hospitality area and be greeted by some phenomenal action.
Well, 1 year ago, there was one race at Sunset Speedway on the APC Tour, and it ended with fireworks. And I expect to see the same here tonight. Close quarter action. A little bit more room tonight they will have, but from all the racing we've seen already this afternoon, things happen in a hurry at Sunset.
Well, they do, and we've been here. If you've, well, a lot of people are here for the first time because there hasn't been that many people here. But the wall on the inside of the front straightaway and the outside of the front straightaway, it is the keeper of all things race car. So when you get out of shape on the front stretch, you are basically in a high-speed game of pinball. Tough to escape from that. Now, I did hear race director Trevor Hambley call for a push truck to turn 4. So I believe one of these cars may not be running. But the yellow flag is displayed, and we're about to find out.
So the MTN Bearings Pace truck will pull the field away. See the great shot down track side of these cars rolling off from their starting positions. 100 laps the distance. And, well, Horner started. Everybody fired.
Race fans at Sunset Speedway, up on your feet, grab your hats, grab whatever's nearby, give these drivers a wave. They are going to be waving back. About ready to do battle for 100 green flag laps of APC Late Model action. Am I the only one who thinks there should be significant penalty for the driver who doesn't wave?
I agree.
I've always felt that way. That it's just an important part of the show.
This really is the best race night. That anticipation for the drop of the green flag. Main event.
I can't disagree with you there. I mean, it's the part I still get excited for. It's magic. Jordan Sims in the 47, Ryan Kimball in the 29. They make up your front row. Row number 2, Jake Sheridan in the 52, Dale Shaw in the 83. Last year, Joe Lawrence could do no wrong. The 78 machine of Lawrence. Every race was in it. Obviously, the finish at this event with Brandon Watson, carnage at the end of that race. 2021 has not been that kind of season for the driver, the number 78.
No, last year, just like you said, he had the Midas touch. Everything turned to gold, and it didn't matter on which shape of track it was. He was just the dominant car, and this year he's been up front running well, but when you follow the entire tour last year, you see a difference.
You know, he's good, not great.
Yep.
Or he's great and not spectacular, right? And there is that difference. So I asked Mike McCall earlier on, I said, did you slow the 78 down or did you speed up your other customers? He says, I'd like to think we sped up the other customers. We got everyone that works under that banner on a good program. Of course, McCall Racing is one of the big builders. White Motorsports, one of the big builders. There's a lot of quote-unquote factory support for these teams. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Rosen from Dayco stands in the flag stand, waiting to give the green flag to this field of 25 APC late models. Here we go.
They fire it down into corner number 1, door to door, all the way through the field. Sims out in front with Kimball riding along the outside. As they come down out of corner number 4 to complete the first lap here in the Dayco 100.
Smoke coming off one of the cars. I'm not sure if it was just brake smoke, but I believe it might have been Travis Halliburton in the 39 in the middle of the pack. Up at the front, Ryan Kimball trying to get the advantage over Jordan Sims as they race door to door off the 4th turn.
Kimball gets a good run on the outside line. He'll lead the laps and sparks that time by the start-finish line. Still door to door amongst the top 4. Then J.R. Fitzpatrick, Pete Shepard, and Joe Lawrence have single filed out.
They continue to do battle door to door, and this will start to wear on those American Racer tires. You want to get single file. I mean, J.R. Fitzpatrick all by himself. The first car single file in line, Pete Shepard behind him, Joe Lawrence behind him. They've kind of gotten in the kind of groove you want to as the yellow flag flies.
First caution comes out lap 2 on the board of the Dayco 100. Oh, okay, there's one. It's right behind the ambulance. That's why we couldn't see it here in the tower. Is that Brandon McFerrin?
Yeah, I think you may be right.
Yep, there he is with the window net down. Now remember, he had the issues in qualifying. The tie rod broke on the left front.
Yeah, that's a frustrating night at the office if you're Brandon McFerrin, especially if you're sitting there, window net goes down. So obviously this young man feels strongly that his night is over because these pit crews are ready to go to work. Up and down pit road, you've got these teams, they're warriors for their driver. But it looks like they might be picking up McFerrin again from the front.
Heartbreaker for that youngster. He's not really a young up-and-coming driver anymore. He seems like it still, but he's been around for a long time, and he was so good at such a young age that he's fit in well now here in the APC series, and you hate to see it for him. Such a nice guy.
And that's he throws his helmet in disgust into the seat of that race car. You know, it takes a lot to get to these races. It takes a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort. Has he been racing here much, Brendan?
No, he hasn't been. So he's been focused on girlfriend Marley Owen with the Quick Super Stock Series. He made the start at Flamborough in the Shaw Motorsports car. This is the same car, and yeah, he has a Super Stock still at home, but that car not quite ready to go. The former Sunset Speedway mini stock champion. The team had a clutch issue this afternoon, so they were underneath the car, swapped out the clutch between practice and qualifying, and looks like some more issues keep cropping up underneath that 64 machine.
And it's so very frustrating. You know, you want to be working on the race car, improving your race car. Clinton, what do you see down there? Have you got Brandon?
Brandon, what's wrong with the car?
I felt a small vibration in qualifying there, and I thought it was maybe to do with the steering braking, and the dry shaft just fell out of the car, so we're done. Stocks, we only did one lap. Not having very good luck, so we'll be back. We'll be better. Thanks to Daco for putting this on, and you guys. Thanks, everybody.
There you can see a dejected Brandon McFerrin. We'll take it back, guys. And, you know, the drive shaft braking is a very frustrating thing, but there's no damage other than that, so that's a good thing, if there can be a good thing out of this situation.
Well, and to play with words there, Clinton, his words were the drive shaft fell out. The only way for that to happen is really a maintenance issue. Drive shafts do break, and it is scary. I've been in that situation, but from the sounds of it, sometimes when you do work under there and things don't quite get put back together, you think someone else tightened this bolt, and it's a frustrating feeling for a race car driver.
Especially lap one into this. We talked about the anticipation coming into this event, leading up to the green flag, and for that to happen so early for Brendan, it's a heartbreaker there.
And so much RPM turned by these engines, so much torque from them when they do break. It happened to me, Greg, at Cayuga Speedway in a hobby car, and I thought a grenade went off under the race car with the amount of tin that was getting twisted about. So if you're trying to follow the race with timing and scoring, they're having some challenges here with the internet signal. So electronic timing and scoring is working in the facility. Doesn't help us with the stream be able to show you what the running order is, but we'll do our best to give you lap counts, and obviously you can see on the back straightaway scoreboard where we're at.
Danny Bennett here in the pit.
Deep into 3 and 4, and you can see Kimball trying to squeeze him down the racetrack, do whatever he can to clear and be able to lead this race all by himself, but Jordan Sims has no interest in letting that happen. He's got Dale Shaw right behind him.
Yeah, quite a battle here at the front between the top four as Kimball has that lead over Sims, and then stacked up behind them, you got Jake Sheridan in the 52 and Dale Shaw. Quickest this afternoon in qualifying. He's got a mirror full of Pete Shepard behind him in fifth.
You can see these cars drive down in the corner, slide up just a little bit. I mean, they are driving these cars as hard as they can to try to clear. So far, not able to do so. Kimball going to try it again in 1 and 2. Really rolling the top very well, just like Sheridan behind him. But Jordan Sims with just enough giddy up on the bottom to keep his nose underneath the 29.
This time by 7 laps complete for Ryan Kimball out in front over Jordan Sims, who stays tough on the bottom. Jake Sheridan has stayed just on that right rear quarter panel of the 47 in the third spot, and they've gone single file behind them. And look who's on the move. Brandon Watson slowly picking off cars lap by lap.
Well, you know, Brandon Watson's going to take advantage of every restart he can to try to pick up a spot or two. Out in front, Kimball is taking the lead. Sheridan trying to follow him on the high side. He'll get around Sims for second. Has not cleared the 47, but he was second at the stripe.
Ryan Kimball now gets a chance. Now the caution flag back out, one around. Justin Jackson down on the inside of corner number 4. That puts us back into the caution with 8 laps complete here in the Dayco 100.
The driver from Sault Ste. Marie, who was here last month to run his super late model, back here this week to run the APC Late Model. On this restart, Greg, I think we should go quick, fire it up. We haven't done that yet tonight. I think this is a good time for it.
And it is. And for Ryan Kimball, he's thinking, are you kidding me? And we finally got out in front. Not running door to door, and the caution flag comes out as we'll have the replay down here at the inside of corner number 4. Around goes Jackson as Tom Gibbons was behind him, but I couldn't tell from that angle if there was contact. There's Tom Gibbons now.
Yeah, slight bit of contact here on the right front, guys, as they work on looking for tape. You can see a bit of contact, bit of damage there for the Gibbons machine, but they'll work this one with a bit of speed tape and get ready to go back out. Right behind us here, 79, a Horner here in the pits as well.
And Horner was quick in practice. He was out with one of the faster qualifying groups.
Crew going to work on the right front here of the Horner 79. They have some scuffs on that as well, but the body mostly intact here on the Horner 79.
Danny Benedict, that Mobile 154, that car's still up in the air at the back end. As we circulate under yellow. And things are always changing, always shifting in racing series. They announced at the drivers' meeting today they were going to try. What they've been doing all season long is giving the double up signal, and then next time by giving 1 to go, and next time by going green. They said, drivers, we're going to try to cut 1 lap out of all of our cautions. We're going to double up, and we're going to go green that same lap. Doesn't sound like a big deal, Greg, but these are the sort of things that help keep a show running fluidly, get it through a little bit quicker. At the end of the night, you can make up 10, 15 minutes. That's a big deal. Always trying to do things just a little bit better.
And I can see the drivers appreciating that. You've ridden around for a few caution laps, you're ready to go. It's time. Double us up and let's go. And good move there by the APC series.
So here we see it. It'll be the 1 to go. So when they get the 1 to go, they know it's also time to double up, and you better be in order.
Hear the sound, see the sights from Sunset Speedway with a quick fire starter. Fire it up. Sideways on the back stretch. He's got Dale Shaw now running on his outside right fender.
A little bit of accordion effect towards the back of the field. I'm not sure where it started, but it got pretty serious by the time it got back to Dwayne Baker, Trayton Lapsevich, and Connor James. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, Jordan Stim still running in that second spot, working as hard as anybody out here has to maintain track position on the bottom. Dale Shaw trying to roll the top, and then side by side is Jake Sheridan and JR.
Right now, Jake Sheridan. 5th is J.R. Fitzpatrick. 6th, Pete Shepard. 7th, Joe Lawrence. 8th is Jordan House. 9th is where we find point leader Brandon Watson. And 10th, Nick Getz, feeling pressure from Andrew Gressel and Josh Stoddy.
Nick Getz started in the 10th spot, runs in the 10th spot, doing a nice job. Look at Jordan Sims fighting back on the inside of Ryan Kimball. He'll nose towards the lead through 3 and 4. They'll race side by side to the stripe.
This is all you can ask for as a race fan. Side-by-side action. We've seen it since the drop of the green flag, other than a couple of laps for Ryan Kimball. But man, that 29 is so good on the outside.
Clinton Jeffrey talked to Dale Shaw. Whoa, contact off of 4. They are 3 wide. Dale Shaw on the inside wisely backs out of it. And Clinton talked to Dale Shaw before the race, said, what do you need to do? You need to save your rear tires. I can tell you, neither of the top 2 cars right now are saving those rear tires.
No, not at all. And Dale Shaw's riding behind them right now. We're watching that. That was a close call 1 lap ago. Pete Shepard now all stacked up in behind Shaw with Jake Sheridan running to the outside of them.
Man, Shaw drove it down into turn number 3 to the inside of Sims. Able to keep that position down into 1 and 2. He'll race side by side with the 47. Sims hasn't been up on the high side much this race. Got a little bit loose there in turn 2.
Dale Shaw now digging on the bottom for the runner-up spot. He'll clear Jordan Sims at the line. Pete Shepard looking to follow suit as Sims now rides the outside line in that white number 47. Side by side behind them with Sheridan and J.R. Fitzpatrick.
Dale Shaw working on Ryan Kimball for the race lead now. The driver of the 83 Shaw Motorsports entry up the inside of the 29 machine. SMG Motorsports, Ryan Kimball.
Tell you this, 1 more car passed and Trayton Lapsevich has gotten through half the field. He's right now running in the 14th spot, working on the back end of the 3 of Shea Gemmel.
That RenaMotoGroup.com black and orange number 32. He'll make the pass of Shea Gemmel going down the back straightaway. Trying to track down the next car in front of him is Travis Halliburton in the 39.
Was Dale Shaw out in front of this one over Ryan Kimball now. Pete Shepard riding in position number 3. Sims in the 4th spot. J.R. Fitzpatrick riding along in 5th. 6th is Jake Sheridan. 7th side by side of Joe Lawrence and Jordan House.
Battle for the 2nd spot. Pete Shepard in the APC 22. Big run off of turn number 2 on the inside of Ryan Kimball. Kimball will run him down all the way to the rumble strips on the inside, but Shepard still getting a good bite off the corner. They are almost glued together side to side as they race off at turn number 2.
Yeah, they were pretty close going down into corner number 1. Continue to race door to door. It's the same behind them with J.R. Fitzpatrick and Jordan Sims battling it out for the 4th position.
Out in front, Dale Shaw has extended his advantage. We are already a quarter of a way through this Dayco 100. 25 laps down, 75 laps to go. A driver I've been watching, Andrew Gressel in the 81. He's been moving forward.
Yeah, he works to the inside of point leader Brandon Watson and kind of washes him up the track of it there in corner number 2.
These 2 drivers have such a rivalry on the racetrack. The 81 of Andrew Gressel, the 9 of Brandon Watson. As we say, this battle a little bit further back in the top 10, but whenever you get these 2 icons of the series battling, you've got to give it some attention.
Gressel moves ahead just a little bit on Watson as they work it off in corner number 4. Right now, 28 laps on the board here in the Dayco 100 with Dale Shaw, Pete Shepard, and Ryan Kimball, the top 3.
Watson, once he let Andrew Gressel go, I wasn't sure if he was going to try to lighten him up a little bit, jack up the back end of that 81. He's close enough that he could do it this time if he wanted to, down into 1 and 2, but no, I think he's going to settle in. We've got a battle for the 3rd spot. Fitzpatrick to the inside of Kimball.
Yeah, that 84, the Meineke car, number 84, works to the inside and will scoot ahead into the 3rd spot across the line on lap number 30. Kimball hanging tough on the outside, but Jake Sheridan looking to do the same as J.R. Fitzpatrick down at the bottom of the 29.
Jordan Sims struggling as he falls back through this field. He is almost out of the top 10. Let's give some credit to that Cooper Equipment number 8 of Jordan House having a great run, battling just outside the top 5.
Yeah, really holding his own right now amongst the best of the APC series. Riding in that number 8 machine as they work across the stripe. 32 laps on the board here in the Dayco 100 from Sunset Speedway. Glad you could join us here on GeForce TV.
Ryan Kimball in the 29, Jordan Sims in the 47. They battled so hard for so long. I wonder if they've overheated their tires because both of them are kind of sliding backwards right now as Gressel just stuffed it down into the corner to the inside. And look at this, Trayton Lapsevich, he passed Watson, he passed Sims, he's passing Ryan Kimball. Trayton Lapsevich is flying.
Yeah, it's like he got up to that 13th spot and then put it into another gear as he's getting by some very quick race cars. Works to the inside of Kimball, following Andrew Gressel right now.
Ahead of them, Jordan House working to the inside of Joe Lawrence. His timing and scoring is operational once again. That's a good thing.
Now Lapsevich right now running in the 8th spot. 5.5 seconds back of leader Dale Shaw.
Brandon Watson is getting aggressive out there. I'm not sure what happened to him in this melee with Travis Halliburton and Jordan Sims, but he aggressively carved that car to the inside. He has gone elbows up here in the last half lap or so.
The top 3 right now spread out just a little bit. In fact, the top 5 spread out a little bit here as you've got Dale Shaw with a nice gap back to second place. Pete Shepard, in fact. Pete right now 1.2 seconds back. J.R. Fitzpatrick riding 3.5 seconds back, the leader in third. Then it's Jake Sheridan. How about Jordan House now into the top 5?
Great drive for Jordan House in that 8. And it's a fun part of the race, Greg. You get to the middle portion of the race, you see who's coming, you see who's going. Right now it's clear Jordan House, Trayton Lapsevich, they are coming to the front. Ryan Kimball still suffering from those hard battles in the early laps. He's under attack from Travis Halliburton down in turn 3 as Trayton Lapsevich putting a move on Andrew Gressel in the 81.
And here he comes down to the inside as they cross the stripe. 40 laps on the board. 60 to go here in the Dayco 100. Trayton Lapsevich flying in right before the race from Quebec. He qualified this afternoon for the NASCAR Pinty Series race tomorrow. And he is on it, riding adrenaline. I'm sure right now he's probably a little bit tired out, but you've got that adrenaline flowing, the storyline he's a part of here tonight. He's got to make it easy to drive that 32.
Trayton Lapsevich in good shape and teenager. Endless amounts of energy unless you ask them to mow the lawn or do the dishes.
Lane Zardo this afternoon practiced that car, and it was the quickest in practice. And you can't take that away from Lane Zardo to go out there and get that car dialed in and the team dialed in like he did. That's not an easy job. It's probably even harder for Lane because he's got such a fast race car in practice, he doesn't get to race it.
No, but you know what? He knew what a big responsibility, what a big opportunity that was. You don't let just anyone get behind the wheel of your race car, and he treated it with the respect it deserved and obviously gave them good feedback, and it was a fast car.
Dale Shaw out in front, still 1.2 seconds ahead of Pete Shepard, so the distance really not changing between the top 2. J.R. Fitzpatrick riding back there in third. Sheridan and House the top 5.
And House having a look to the inside of Jake Sheridan. That's a battle for the 4th position. About 6 car lengths, 8 car lengths behind J.R. Fitzpatrick, but House a little bit faster right now than Sheridan in the 52. Behind him, you've got Joe Lawrence in the 78, Trayton Lapsevich in the 32.
House looked like he was ready to get by Jake Sheridan there, and then the car definitely pushed a bit in corners 3 and 4, and he backs off a little bit behind the 52 of Jake Sheridan.
Colton Everingham gets well out of the way in that 48 machine. NTN Bearing sponsored entry as Pete Shepard trying to work with Dwayne Baker in the 48 there.
Approaching the halfway point here, the Dayco 100 live on G4's TV from Sunset Speedway, round number 3. Right now it's all Dale Shaw out in front.
Paul House continues to try to work on Jake Sheridan. Lost the front end there a little bit, halfway between 1 and 2. Still up alongside the 52 machine, the all-white number 8 on the inside of that black and red 52 with Jake Sheridan as they battle down into turn number 1. We are halfway through the Dayco 100.
Halfway through, and I'm not sure the biggest storyline just yet. We've got a few. Jordan House running in the top 5. Trayton Lapsevich up to 7th. And the point leader, Brandon Watson, surprisingly, still back in 10th.
That is a little bit of a surprise to me, and I'm watching Jordan House and Jake Sheridan. Sheridan is doing a great job on the outside. Jordan House has tried different things, different entries, running up the track in different parts of the corners, and now I think he had enough. He ran Jake Sheridan up a little too far. I think Jake might have taken a little bit of notice of that, falls back in line again. This is where you decide, is now where I want to push the issue, or do I wait until lap 90?
And look who's at the back of that screenshot right now, behind Jordan House and Jake Sheridan. Trayton Lapsevich to the inside of Joe Lawrence.
Lapsevich with that transponder blinking brightly when he goes down the back straightaway into the left rear corner of that 32 machine.
Out in front, Dale Shaw continues to lead. The gap is closed by 0.2 of a second, so Pete Shepard gaining a little bit of ground as Shaw right now trying to get by Dustin Jackson. Oh, that was close.
Tom Gibbons just in front of Pete Shepard there, and I think he zigged when Shepard thought he was going to zag, and that was almost a couple of red, white, and blue cars in a heap off of turn number 2.
Dale Shaw having his struggles right now getting by Dustin Jackson, and that's allowing Pete Shepard to try and close the gap another time. He lost time trying to get around Tom Gibbons. Now it's back to 1.1 seconds.
And I'm looking just ahead of them. Connor James just put a move on Nick Getz in the 24, so spotters will start to tell their drivers, Josh Stoddy, Shea Gemmel, hey, the leader's coming. It's time. If you got any more juice in that tank, now's the time to drain it.
Yeah, there's some big-name drivers up in front of leader Dale Shaw right now as we come across the line to complete lap number 59 of the Dayco 100.
Close quarters racing. Travis Halliburton coming off of turn number 4 with Andrew Gressel. Gressel had to bite the brakes to avoid him. Dwayne Baker a little bit slow on the racetrack up on the outside. Some of the lead lap cars file past him, and there goes Trayton Lapsevich diving to the inside of Jake Sheridan. Sheridan got up out of the groove off of 4. We got a problem. Dustin Jackson in the 61. Why do they keep coming to rest right behind the ambulance?
So there we see Dustin Jackson down on the grass on the back stretch, bringing us under the caution. 41 laps left to go here in the Dayco 100, and Trayton Lapsevich from 25th was just about to make the pass to take over the 5th spot. I think he'll get shuffled back to 6th, the last completed lap. But how about that drive by the youngster?
An impressive drive. I've been impressed by this whole field of drivers. I mean, there's been some tough racing side by side, a little bit of rubbing, but for the most part, you're seeing give and take. I see. So Pete Shepard in the 22 is trying to make a move on Dustin Jackson, the lap car, and similar to what we saw with him and Tom Gibbons as we look at a great view from turn number 3. Thankfully, Jackson was able to keep that out of the wall. Hey, Clinton Jeffrey, what's going on in the infield? Did I hear your mic?
Yeah, we got a lot of cars here on pit road, guys, earlier in this one than they wanted to. Dwayne Baker pulls in. You see Chenoweth way around the end there. You got about 4 or 5 more other cars. Gibbons in here as well. And now issues down here for Ryan Kimball. We'll get down here and check this one out. We'll see what's up with the SMG Motorsports 29. He pulls in here unexpectedly.
Well, I'm not sure that car really fell off. Nick Getz was sliding back. Ryan Kimball was sliding back. Let's let you know who's on the lead lap, folks. Dale Shaw, race leader in the 83. Pete Shepard, the 3rd in the 22. J.R. Fitzpatrick in the 84. Jordan House in the 8 and the 52 of Jake Sheridan. That's your top 5. 6th through 10th, the 32, Trayton Lapsevich. 78 of Joe Lawrence. The 39 of Travis Halliburton. The 81 of Andrew Gressel. And the 9 of Brandon Watson. 11th on back, the 47 of Jordan Sims. 29 of Ryan Kimball. Now, some of this will change with pit stops. Connor James in the 4, Nick Getz in the 24, Shea Gemmel in the 3, Josh Stoddy in the 17. Those are all of the cars on the lead lap. Then we have Dustin Jackson in the 61, Tyler DiVincenzo in the 97, Colton Everingham in the 48, Dwayne Baker in the 48B, Sean Chenoweth in the 89C. Those cars are all 1 lap down. Then it's Tom Gibbons, James Horner, Danny Benedict, and Brandon McFerrin.
A lot of work going on the 17 of Josh Stoddy, and we've got one crew member knees deep inside the car and from the other way, all the way into that car.
I love that paint scheme this year. The chrome wheels, that yellow race car, I think it looks really, really sharp. How can you not be impressed looking around here? Everything looks great. I mean, Brian and Sandra Tata should be commended on the work they've done here. the crowd that's here. Paul Mayo and his team from NTN Bearings activating behind the grandstands. I mean, this is what a racetrack should look like. Dayco showing up with a number of guests to enjoy the show tonight.
Yeah, if you haven't been to Sunset Speedway, I highly recommend it. Racing Saturday nights, special Sunday events, sunsetspeedway.ca for all the information. Come check it out. Right up the 400, not too far off of the 400.
You know what I've never done coming up here? I love the beach, but I've never hit, like, this is a cottagey area. I would think there's lots of waterfront. And when I get to the beach and take my shirt off, usually it clears a big spot, Greg. So you can have a nice picnic.
You're all about the picnic.
Well, you know.
We were disappointed. We came through the Holland Marsh there, and times we've been up here, usually you can smell the onions. Is it not seasoned yet, or we didn't smell it other than the onion rings I had last night? But
I don't know if it is yet or not. I'm not a big farmer, but I mean, it's always one of those to be able to stop down and get some fresh vegetables down at the Holland Marsh on your way through, and one of the sights and scenes on your way up the 400 here coming to Sunset Speedway.
I always thought the soil was more black, too, in the Holland Marsh. I was explaining it to Connor as we came up, and it looked brown. He says, that looks brown to me. Well,
yeah, you're right.
Throw that lesson out the window. We'll try again next time. So Brandon Watson, this is a statistic we've been talking about, and I don't know how we can really track it, although anything can be tracked. Your plus-minus on restarts. You talk to any veteran driver, any veteran crew chief, they know every restart is your opportunity to pick up a row, pick up a spot. So at the end of the year, you want to make sure on restarts you've gained more than you've lost. It's a matter this field, Joe Lawrence in the 78, but these are the moments where you can make up that spot or two as a driver.
Yeah, I've had an education over the last couple of years, especially watching the APC series, and got an appreciation for the art of the restart. I'm used to seeing a lot of dirt races that are single-file restarts, and you don't get as many games as we see in this. But like you said, it's just that. It's getting that plus-minus up, and I'm sure you go under caution, you're on the outside line, you're probably thinking, okay, now I've got to be extra aggressive here because the inside line traditionally on most tracks is where you're going to make up the most ground. But
and there's different kinds of restarters. There's those who want to get to the inside as quick as they can, but there's those who want to take where they are and always find that advantage. I have a feeling, to take Trayton Lapsevich, for example, in the 32, he's not going to look to get to the inside. He's going to look to find an open lane. We're going to fire it up one more time, folks, with a quick fire it up. Dale Shaw, again, it looks as though he did not like the way Shepard squeezed him down in 3 and 4, so he made sure he made his own groove, not being as polite this time. Dale Shaw retakes that lead.
Adam, I got the crew chief here for Brandon Watson. Why was the 9 car in here?
We were fighting the loose conditions, so we brought him in to tighten him up. We didn't have far to go back, so got some spring rubbers and changed some stagger, and hopefully we're good to go.
Thanks a lot. There you have it from Watson's crew chief trying to tighten up the 9, guys.
So Dale Shaw and Pete Shepard still doing battle. Shepard then got back to the inside, puts Dale up on the outside. They'll go side by side through 3 and 4.
And while that's happening, look at who's up there in the 3rd spot, challenging the top 2. Jordan House in that number 8 on the ride of a lifetime right now.
Jordan House is the one with just a little bit of gasoline to toss into the fire. You two mixing it up good. I'll give you a nudge too. I want to play.
And he'll slip down to the inside of Pete Shepard as Dale Shaw takes the lead away. Here comes Jordan House on the bottom side.
Dale Shaw took the outside going into 1 and 2. There got himself a great run. Shaw continues to lead the way, but it's clearly go time for these drivers.
I was going to say the first 60 lap, like you said, it was a lot of give and take. Drivers playing nice, but it's go time. 66 laps on the board. In this Dayco 100, the gloves are starting to come off.
J.R. Fitzpatrick to the inside of Pete Shepard. He's looking at that third spot. He's got the spot at the line. Shepard's got to stay up on the wheel because Jake Sheridan right there. And as I say that, Shepard able to drop back in line, but he's fallen back to 4.
Dale Shaw catches his breath out in front by a car length over Jordan House. Then it's J.R. Fitzpatrick, Pete Shepard, and Jake Sheridan running right now in that 5th position. Joe Lawrence on his rear deck lid. And then it's Andrew Gressel who's got Trayton Lapsovich behind him. Trayton did not get a great restart.
No, Gressel wrestled that spot away from Trayton Lapsovich. Lapsovich closing in on the back bumper now to try to get it back. Out in front, it's all Dale Shaw by about 5 car lengths over Jordan House in the number 8.
Number 81, the hood on that machine all buckled up.
Travis Halliburton tried to close the door on Connor James. James was in there in that SSG Gloves Inside Track Motorsport News number 4. That could have been a wreck, but they were both able to save it up. Lost a little bit of ground to Gressel and Lapsovich.
71 laps on the board in the Dayco 100. It's Dale Shaw, Jordan House, J.R. Fitzpatrick, Pete Shepard, and Jake Sheridan in the top 5. Things settling down after that restart now.
They are at the front of the pack, but if you look at the middles of the back, there's a lot of movement going on. Drivers who came into the pits for adjustments, trying to work their way back through the field. Grossman on the inside of Josh Stoddy. Right behind him is Colton Everingham in the NTN Bearings, number 48.
Brandon Watson, Clinton documented him. He's still back there in that 12th spot after the changes on pit road. Definitely a frustrating evening for him because that car just does not seem to have the get up and go that we're used to.
No, it doesn't seem to, as Lapsovich again to the inside of Andrew Gressel coming off of turn number 4. Gressel able to hold him off. Ahead of them, Pete Shepard looks mighty racy behind J.R. Fitzpatrick. Here goes Joe Lawrence looking to get into the top 5.
Down to the inside of that Cameron Crane Pride Seats number 52 as they go down into corner number 1. The 2020 champion trying to get his way into the top 5 and line up behind his teammate Pete Shepard, who's now making a move on J.R. Fitzpatrick for 3rd.
Shepard able to wedge the nose of the APC number 7 to the inside of Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick gave him just enough room there. The front straightaway.
This race tonight demonstrating how much parity is in the APC series. Oh, big contact between Trayton Lapsovich and Andrew Gressel.
Yeah, again, Gressel tried to close the door down the front stretch. Lapsovich was there, and that's the kind of smoke you see when tires rub. That was the left rear of Gressel, the right front of Trayton Lapsovich. So we'll watch both of these cars to see if they might have cut tires down. Lapsovich being overtaken by Travis Halliburton. Now Connor James to the inside.
Yeah, the 32 drifts back a couple of spots now into the clutches of Brandon Watson. Meanwhile, at the front, it's Shaw and House, but it's side by side. Pete Shepard down to the inside of J.R. Fitzpatrick. They go door to door into 3. Pat Fitzpatrick will let Shepard go.
20 laps to go this time. 80 laps complete. 20 laps to go as Dwayne Baker way up out of the groove as he checks up. Coming off of turn number 2.
Slows right in front of the leader. Here comes Jordan House to the inside of Dale Shaw for the lead.
House down low on that white number 8. They're right behind Sean Chenoweth, the London Recreational Racing number 89. Side by side. Chenoweth getting way up out of the way. What about a sportsmanship by Sean Chenoweth?
Door to door at the line. It's House that time. 82 laps on the board. 18 to go here in the Dayco 100. Put Jordan House to the top of the pile. Who would have thunk it?
House edges to the advantage through 3 and 4. He'll come up off the turn, try to squeeze up into the line. Dale Shaw's in. Shaw still with the nose to the outside. He's not going to give up that easily, but Dale Shaw back to second. Jordan House to the lead.
Shaw right there on that back bumper of the 8 of Jordan House as they work it off the corner to lap number 84 here in the Dayco 100.
Look at the battles behind them. Travis Halliburton doing battle with Andrew Gressel. He comes up off the corner, takes Gressel's line away. I'm not sure if Gressel liked that very much. The front hood on the 81 machine all crumpled up.
85 laps complete for Jordan House out in front of Dale Shaw. Pete Shepard now has clear sailing to the top two. Joe Lawrence trying to clear Chenoweth there. And he'll follow his teammates. The battle right now is for fifth. Jake Sheridan to the inside of J.R. Fitzpatrick.
Sheridan will take that spot out in front. Jordan House has taken the lead, but he hasn't pulled away from Dale Shaw. Shaw's still right in the tire tracks with the number 8. In fact, he'll poke to the inside off of turn 4.
Another battle watching as the 10th and 11th spot is the 32 of Trayton Lapsevich, and the 9, the point leader, Brandon Watson.
Jordan Sims in the 47 to the inside of Brandon Watson, sliding around the corner, leans on the 9 of Watson, coming off of turn number 2, down into 3 they go, still side by side.
88 laps complete. Dale Shaw still staying there with Jordan House, working that number 83 machine as hard as he can. They work around the lap car of Tom Gibbons.
Shaw's able to get down into the corner with a lot of speed, get to the center with a lot of speed, but coming off the turn is where Jordan House seems a little bit better.
This time by 90 laps complete, 10 to go with an ACO 100.
There's a lot of traffic about half a straightaway ahead of our race leader. I don't know that they're going to get there or not. But if they do, it's going to be a nightmare for Jordan House.
Pete Shepard right now trying to close the gap on the top two. He's 2.145 seconds back of Dale Shaw and Jordan House. He's closing the gap, but running out of time.
Not a lot of laps left to go, but look at this. Dale Shaw starting to mount that challenge. 8 laps to go, and Shaw is right up on the back bumper. House in the 8, filling the rear view mirror.
This time by it'll be 93 complete for Jordan House. Dale Shaw using up that race car, trying to get by the driver of the 8 car.
Shaw has changed his entry just a little bit, going in higher, diving in that car down through the apex of the turn. But he got a little bit loose there from the center off, and Jordan House, that car just looks like it'll go wherever he wants.
Wow, the way things are timing out right here with 6 laps left to go, I think the leaders might catch that lap traffic.
They're not going to catch Sean Chenoweth. Looks like Chenoweth's going to call it a night, taking that 89C down into the pits.
95 laps on the board. 5 to go here in the Dayco 100 for Jordan House. He stretches his advantage now over Dale Shaw. Pete Shepard has been unable to reel in the top 2.
Yeah, Shepard out in third, all by his lonesome, but he can't get any closer than that. Watching Connor James battle with Andrew Gressel, these guys have been swapping a lot of paint in this pack, so if there's going to be excitement, it might come here as Connor James all but pushes Gressel into turn 1.
Those are some used up race cars, and I mean the tires on some of these cars have gone away. They've just not been able to stay up there with the top 5. Trayton Lapsevich drifted back in this one as the leader this time by. It'll be 2 laps left to go for Jordan House.
Opportunity knocked tonight. Brandon Watson, the points leader, is not having a great night. Pete Shepard able to take advantage. He's up in the top 3, but Trayton Lapsevich not really taking much advantage. He's deep in this field. White flag going to come out this time by.
And lap cars right in front of the leaders battling it out as they take the white flag. House trying to hold off Dale Shaw. One more trip around Sunset Speedway.
Jordan House down into turn number 3, his first appearance this season with the APC Series, his first checkered flag. House with the win. Dale Shaw comes home second, Pete Shepard third, Joe Lawrence fourth, Jake Sheridan fifth, ahead of J.R. Fitzpatrick, Travis Halliburton, Connor James, Trayton Lapsevich, Jordan Sims, Brandon Watson, and Andrew Gressel. Jordan Sims and Andrew Gressel rubbing it up on the last lap. What a race, what battles. That's the way short track racing is supposed to look, ladies and gentlemen. What a show here at Sunset Speedway. Jordan House getting some congratulations there in turn number 3 from the competition as Dave Franks hands him a checkered flag. He's going to make his way down to victory lane where Clinton Jeffrey is waiting. Also headed that way are Dale Shaw in the 83, Pete Shepard in the 22. It was a hard-fought battle.
I'll tell you what, Adam, it's almost like 1 week ago we were at Southern Ontario Motor Speedway and DJ Christie picked up his first 360 sprint car win. And it was the story of Not that we didn't think he could do it, but he wasn't at the top of the list of drivers that we thought were going to do it. So a great run tonight by Jordan House to pick up the win. And we knew he had it in him, but with such a stout field, this is a surprise and a happy surprise down in APC Victory Lane. We'll send it down trackside to Clinton Jeffrey here in just a moment to talk to Jordan House as he'll unbuckle in that number 8 machine. And what a ride to get by Dale Shaw, such a veteran in the APC series.
You know, this youngster has a lot of confidence. His dad was a race car driver. Dale Shaw's dad was a race car driver. So was Pete Shepard's dad, a race car driver. Some of them are third generation. Jordan House, to my knowledge, is second generation. He is about to climb out of this race car, and I believe we're going to see a big smile on his face.
Thanks, guys. He gets ready to climb out here to Sean Gibbs in the checkered flag. And we'll get him an APC hat and get him ready to climb out here and talk to us as the Victory Lane banners are coming into place in the back. Here he comes. How about it for your Sunset APC winner, Jordan House? Come on around here, Jordan. What a drive it was tonight. You held off Shaw right to the end there. Jordan, what does it mean to be in Victory Lane here for the APC Series? First visit with them this year, and you get it done.
Well, it's huge. I wouldn't rather do it anywhere but here. I love this place. Love the fans. It's an awesome atmosphere, sorry. And I couldn't do it without the guys down here, McCulls and everybody. And it's just awesome to be here. First race here and win with these guys.
You were in the running all day. Shaw had a fantastic car, but in the end, you were just able to drive away. What was the crew telling you at the closing stages of this one?
They were just telling me to keep it clean and keep it straight. I had no brakes left, so I was struggling to keep it pointing the same right way. And it was an awesome battle with Dale. I love running with that guy. We're good friends. And ran with him last weekend, ran with him this weekend. He's good shit.
Anybody else you want to thank?
Everybody that came out to help. Rick, Mike, Paul, Joey, all the guys in McCall's. They spent a lot of time on this car with me. All my sponsors, Glenn Wintram Trucking, BW Towing, Young Aggregates. Jim Brown Contracting, that was one of my big sponsors. He passed away, so it's awesome putting his sticker on the car and getting a win with him. Cooper Equipment Rentals, Sherwin-Williams Paints, Paul Housing Associates. Dad does everything he can for me to get me here. And there's a couple more there. Specialized Welding. It's been a while since I've done this, so. Foodland, BBTS, Markdale, and I think, and the APC series, all the sports, the APC series, and of course all the fans that came out.
There you have it. Jordan House gets it done, ladies and gentlemen. Move over here and talk to second place, Dale Shaw. Dale, I would assume you're a little bit disappointed there because that one got away from you a little bit, but you were fast today, and your luck seems to turn around a little bit. Can you at least be a little bit happy with tonight's run?
Man, I should be, honestly. My radio's quit coming to the green, so I only had a spotter for about half that race, and it's just tough to strategize the race that way. And A-Car was good. He just he come through the field, and we were pretty even, but the 61 car, I'm not sure why he rode on my door for like 10 laps, and that pretty much killed the right rear, and that was it. So
it's ejected Dale Shaw, but still a solid run for him. We'll get over and talk to Pete Shepard, the third. Pete, another solid run for you. I mean, we're talking for the right reasons here. Obviously, you'd like to be a couple more positions up on the podium, but still a solid night for you in the points here.
Yeah, I felt like the car was going away a little bit. We have a right front flat here. There's only 8 pounds of pressure in it, so that was kind of, it wasn't a deciding factor. I think the 83 and the 8 were a little better. Congratulations to Jordan House. His dad put me in my first ever late model ride, so that's really cool to see. He's a heck of a kid. I thought it was clean, hard racing with the 83. To be honest, the issue, I think the initial contact was between him on the outside and me, not giving me room. But to be honest, I thought it was just clean, hard racing. I don't know, he didn't like it as much, I guess. But happy to finish third. I guess a good points day. Can't thank APC Canusa enough. Total Lubricants, everybody at Dayco here for putting on the show. Like I said, I thought it was a good one. Would have a little more left at the end, but maybe next time.
We'll see you next Saturday. Pete Shepard, we're live at Sauble Beach here on G-Force TV. We'll turn it up to you guys. How about it, fans? Hopefully you enjoyed that one. Your top three tonight, Pete Shepard, Dale Shaw, and Jordan House get it done here in the APC Late Model Series. Take it up to Adam and Greg to take us home.
Fantastic event here tonight, and a great crowd. Again, thanks for joining us here, both live on G-Force TV and all the folks in attendance tonight.
We shouldn't, I got in trouble for this not long ago, Greg, and they're absolutely right. You never gave the full results. And I think, you talk to the winner and you go home. But let's give you the full field rundown because all of these drivers earned it tonight. Jordan House, the winner. Dale Shaw, second. Pete Shepard in third. Joe Lawrence, fourth in the 78. 5th to 52 with Jake Sheridan. 6th through 10th is J.R. Fitzpatrick in the 84, the 39 of Travis Halliburton, the 4 of Connor James, 32, Trayton Lapsevich, and 47, Jordan Sims. 11th through 20th, Brandon Watson in the 9, the 81 of Andrew Grezel, 3 of Shea Gemmel, the 29, Ryan Kimball, 17, Josh Stoddy, 24, Nick Getz, 97D of Tyler DiVincenzo. That was your first car 1 lap down in 17th. 18th to Dustin Jackson in the 61. The 48 of Colton Everingham was 19th. 20th was Tom Gibbons. And rounding out the field, we've got Sean Chenoweth, Danny Benedict, Dwayne Baker, James Horner, and Brandon McFerrin.
Well, Brendan, tonight a big event for your home track, your regular crowd. For you as the announcer, thanks for having us in the office. Did you enjoy tonight as a pure race fan on what you saw?
Absolutely, and it was great to see, as Jordan mentioned in his Victory Lane interview, these two duked it out. It was for second place last Saturday night here at Sunset Speedway, part of our weekly Pro Late Model program, the Seat Instructors Pro Late Model. So it was great to see our Sunset represented well. Jordan started his career here in the mini stock division, moved on to the super stocks, became a champion of that division, and now focusing on the Pro Late Model. So great weekend. I appreciate you guys having me up here. It was great to be part of the G-Force broadcast, and great to have you at Sunset Speedway with the APC series for the Dayco 100.
Thank you so much for being a part of it. Excellent job tonight. Adam, fun night of racing. We get to do it again next week at Sauble.
Absolutely. I had a blast. Again, Greg, great racing, great crowd, great atmosphere. Thank you to everybody who took the time to come out and take in a night of racing at Sunset Speedway.
So that will wrap things up from here at Sunset Speedway. On behalf of all of our crew here, all the camera angles that we bring you here tonight, there's someone behind each one, and we want to thank all of them for their hard work tonight. On behalf of Brendan Doherty, Adam Ross, and Quentin Jeffrey, my name's Greg Keltland saying so long from Sunset Speedway here on G-Force TV. Copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of G-Force TV. G-Force TV would like to thank you for your support and for watching today's broadcast.